Hello.
Oh, hi.
Ah,
I wasn't
Ralph
quite sure
Audio.
what to say. Oh, yes. Obligatory Ralph audio mention in the first 10 seconds.
I think we have to do it in every podcast because any podcast could be the first podcast for
You-
somebody.
That's true, but I think I'm going to go get my $20 Logitech headset, see how that sounds for you, if that's any better.
Ooh,
Let's
there we
use
go.
that and maybe like add in some reverb so it really sounds like I'm recording from an air conditioning vent.
Mhm. I think uh it's a good thing to know what you're getting into right at the top of the episode cuz my voice will come in all crystal clear and then it's just hi.
Discord didn't even record that. That was just like, no,
Oh
we're
my
not
god.
going to send that over.
You have to go. I know you're not watching the episodes we've been doing because you don't want to be discouraged by how your voice sounds, but you need to skip to the end of one of them or all of them and hear what it sounds like when you're blowing out a candle.
Alright. That's true. I do want to hear how that sounds.
You could probably do that in this very episode. Meta.
I mean, see, because like when we're doing this, you're coming in crystal clear, and I got these crystal clear noise canceling headphones, and I'm talking like as close to my mic, and it has a pop filter on it, so
It
I
does?
can at least pretend like Yep. Can't you tell?
No. It's very like the S's are pretty pronounced, I guess.
It's a very small one. I mean, it's a headset mic. What are you gonna do? It's detachable too, so I can just go. Boop, no more audio.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. One sec. I've got. Never mind. I can't tell. I thought I had to sneeze. This is what having a cat is like.
For you.
Yeah, for
Um,
me. For me.
but yeah, as I was saying, I could just pretend like this is almost gonna be game shed quality because I can talk the same way.
If you never watch the episode, then you'll never be red pilled or whatever the fuck. What is it?
Um, I think it's right. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never watched The
Nope.
Matrix, but I don't think it's
Yeah,
about
I was
the.
gonna say full disclosure. I never watched Matrix either.
We should do that for one of these, maybe. But
Uh, I don't know, man.
I'm not recommending it today. I've got
I
something
think
picked out.
I think I'm at that point, and I feel like lots of people are when like you look at early 2000s and like you just kind of look at stuff from then, like what the fuck? Like movies specifically, games a little bit, music less so.
Oh, definitely not with music. With games and with movies, I think I don't know.
Movies especially,
I
because
guess
it'll use like a really dated soundtrack. It's like I feel like kind of the action sequences were like way more cheesier then, because it was like the first time they've been like really doing that shit like Matrix.
yeah, I guess it depends what you're watching from that time.
Yeah, or just watch some commercials from then.
Yeah, if you watch like action movies from the early 2000s, I guess there's a lot of the cheese.
Yeah, they've got that. They got like fucking purple ketchup. Like what the fuck?
We should watch the Resident Evil movie.
Oh god, no! I've actually tried doing that.
I haven't. I've never seen it.
Like I tried to. First of all, I tried to like way before I knew anything about Resident Evil. When I was a kid. And that was all I knew about it. And I was like, I can't pay attention to this. This is just too stupid. And then when the remake was coming out, I think it was like a couple days away. We tried watching the Resident. What is it called? I think it's just Nemesis, isn't it?
The-
The movie with Nemi in
They
it.
made a movie with Nemi?
Yeah, and
I didn't know that.
fuck, does he? Maybe we should watch it because fuck, he looks terrible.
I didn't know exactly what it was, but I wonder which one is that? Is that the original one?
There's like
There's like
three
10. There's like a ton
like
of movies.
yeah.
There's
But
like
yeah,
7.
it actually has Jill in it, but she takes a backseat to like the created character for the movies.
Yeah, and it does have Ada, right?
I think one of the other ones do. I'm not sure. There's also animated movies which were
Mm.
really strange. I heard those are like super cheesy and actiony.
Oh, I bet.
But yeah, the Nemesis one is just good God. It's literally like they just had a statue and just like almost stop motion, like his arm moving up.
Mm.
Like he looks so robotic.
We'll have to see those at some point.
At least he's got a minigun too. I watched like maybe 30, 40 minutes until I was just like, no, I can't.
It wasn't even so bad. It was good.
I feel like it would be for you. Like you'd get a kick out of it.
Maybe I would. I don't know. I feel like if you're into the games, it's easier to get a kick out of it. And,
Yeah,
and you are into the games, so maybe not. But
well, for me at the time, I was like, I guess trying to hype myself up more for the remake.
oh God,
than
why
I
did
already
you?
Was.
Why would you watch that to hype yourself up?
I don't know. I just wanted to see some Nemi.
If
And,
you
like,
wanted
man.
to see Nemi, you should play the original. Probably. I still haven't done
Yeah.
that. So
Two things. First of all, like both of them were a mistake. A, hyping myself up as much as I did for the remake, and watching that movie. But I still do need to play the 3 original, which I have it chilling here on my computer in an emulator. So
I've only
good to
played.
go whenever.
Yeah, I've only played the first original. Then I tried the second original Resident Evil, and I couldn't immediately get into it. I was dying a bunch, so I stopped. And then I think I popped in 3 for like a second. I didn't die, but I was just like not ready to commit myself to it. So
That's why I haven't jumped into it yet.
yeah, I can.
I know when I do, I'm gonna want to play the shit out of it.
Yeah, I can say that I have. If I made it through the first one, then I know that I don't have an aversion to PS1 Resident Evil. That's all that
True.
matters.
But this isn't going to be the last time we talk about Resident Evil, so we can save that for another topic.
For another time,
Or-
I guess. For another podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah.
They'll probably be a whole dedicated Resident Evil shit or something.
Oh yeah. We've still got to do my dream podcast. We have to do
What?
the Resident Evil versus Silent Hill.
I'm excited for that, but that's a lot of homework.
Yeah, that it just means you have to play 2 and 3. That's all I'm gonna make you play for that.
I want to do 1 too.
You did play Silent Hill 1. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
but
Silent
not
Hill.
fully by myself.
Yeah, I guess.
I want to play all of them. Like I'm looking forward to those games. Like I bought Silent Hill. I bought Silent Hill 1 on PS2 at at One Up Games.
Right. Silent Hill 1 for PS2.
No, wait, no. It is for PS1, but it's in a PS2 looking box.
Oh, okay. And do you have a PS2?
I sent you that pic.
How are you going to play it?
No.
You're not going to play it? You just wanted to collect it?
Well, I'm gonna play it, but I'm gonna need to get that first. That didn't make any sense. I'm gonna get a PS2.
Oh, I didn't.
I saw one at One Up the other day, and it was like $75, but I can't really get that right now.
Honestly, I think they might be a bit expensive. They're like definitely should support them because they're a small business and the guys there are really cool. But I know you can find a PS2 for like $40 or less, probably.
Yeah, I mean, when on the day that I actually do go out to get one, I'm gonna check all the different places.
Oh yeah.
That's what happened, and then I found Melee for fucking $40 at SIA.
Yeah. See. There you go.
And I was like, what? I'm getting this.
And you can find games like that are more expensive than the console that they're for now.
Oh yeah, for GameCube especially.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, we at some point you gotta play Silent Hill 2, 3. That's all I would say. You could play 4. I played 4. My thoughts on it were much lower than the first 3, but if we want to have the same level of experience, we're not gonna play through all the Resident Evils when we do that either. There's like no fucking way. We just play through the ones of each series that are supposed to be good.
Sure, we have all the remakes now of the first trilogy.
Yeah, if you play all the bad ones from both of them, because they both went shit after a certain point, then it's a totally different podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that podcast where we actually get to topics and can just ramble.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is enough rambling for today. So
Yeah, we do have a lot to unpack here, I think.
yeah. So let's blow out this candle. No.
All right, cool. See you next week.
Okay. So
We're gonna go do our homework now.
Yeah, on to the recommendations. Yours is first.
What I recommended, or
yeah, what you recommended, because last week we started with mine.
Sick. Yeah, good. You're keeping track of that because I am not.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So that would be Portal
2.
Portal 2.
But
yes, but you went ahead and played 1 as well.
I don't know what you expected. Yeah, I had to.
I saw you do it on Steam, because I'm a creep and I could just look at that. But like,
Discord.
I basically saw you
too.
played 1, and then I was just like, I just kind of nodded to myself, and I was like, yeah, because like you're not the type of person to let a rabbit hole just not be there. You're gonna dive down that shit.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I definitely wasn't going to, like, even though it was for the podcast, I wasn't gonna not experience the series like the way that you should.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I think, most people like both of those games, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah, actually, Portal's series is Gabe Newell's favorite out of anything that they did from Valve.
Is he the head of Valve?
Yeah, and Steam.
Oh, cool. The first Portal is his favorite.
Oh no, the Portal series.
Oh, okay.
Probably 2 specifically, but like just the series in general. He said it was their favorite thing that Valve did.
Okay, so I actually took no notes, as you know. I had a lot of struggling with this rec.
Yeah, like, man, you put in the work. You have like 30 hours in Portal 1.
Oh, did I know? You left
the game open.
Yeah, if I had 30 hours in one of them, it's because I left them both running at some point. But I did. Funny enough, I didn't finish either of the games.
So like now I feel kind of bad because like from yesterday, like day before and yesterday, like I think on Monday or Sunday you didn't finish 1 yet, and I was like getting worried. I was like, shit, like did I give him too much? Is he having trouble?
Oh yeah, well I was having trouble, but we'll get to that. It was a busy week, so I had a bunch of like appointments and stuff going on, and like just personal life, and then Mo moved in.
Yeah, we got Mo right next to him.
Yeah, he's right on the other end of the couch with earbuds in. So
he's got a cat and whatever animal Mo is.
Yeah, the family's really filling up the house now. And so that happened Saturday. So I didn't even get to start anything until Sunday, I think. No, wait. Yeah, Sunday. Because I thought, 2 days. You had told me that each game would be about 3 to 5 hours. So I was thinking I could definitely knock them both out.
And I'm going to still stand by that.
Yeah. We'll talk.
But yeah, we'll talk about that. Keep your ringer on, buddy.
So I think the way to do this would be to discuss the first one for a little bit, and then the second one. Even though your rec was the second one, and it probably should get like all the, like the 50 minutes or an hour that we spend on a rec. I think it might be more productive to dedicate some time to each of them. There's probably less to say about the first one for me anyway.
I think so too. But as a franchise, we kind of have to like keep it together. I'll pull up the wiki page because like when did Portal come out?
I don't know. I was gonna ask you that too. When did each of them come out? Was it like 04 and 07? Or
It was 07 and then 2011, I believe.
oh, okay.
Yeah, Portal 1 came out in 2007, and then Portal 2. Actually, I can just look on Steam. What am I doing? Just give me a second. I'm looking at the store page. Yep, 2011.
That makes sense because I thought Portal 2 looked pretty good, and the whole time I was thinking, oh, this is 2007. What?
Yeah, this is 2011.
No, the
Yeah,
first.
so a 4-year gap between them. And really quick, last thing about Portal 2, it was because of 1, Portal 2 was like the most anticipated sequel like ever, like in the decade. I would probably say maybe decade. Yeah, but still like one of the most anticipated sequels like ever. And 1 kind of just seems kind of basic because you go and shoot your portals and there's a little bit of a story and that's that. But like at the time, like there's no other game like it. It was doing some really physics-based puzzles, and that really kind of challenged how gamers thought at the time.
Right, it was pretty unique, I thought. It took me, I don't know why, but it took me a second to get down just like the basics of the portal. Also, I was trying to, I used my controller, plugged in my controller because I tried mouse and keyboard for a minute and it wasn't happening.
All right, interesting. The portals can be a bit of a learning curve themselves.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, no, definitely at first I didn't really understand how everything was working until about like the 4th puzzle or something. But the first 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 go by like really fast.
Yeah, they start off at like really real basics, like fundamentals. Like you just like the first chamber is literally just you putting a cube on a button, and then it just progresses from there, adding a couple more mechanics.
Yeah,
it only gives you 1 portal at first, and then you're able to control both of them.
I think at this point I could do the first game relatively like with no problem pretty fast, like after playing through pretty much all of 1 and most of 2.
Yeah, that's another thing. The Portal franchise, mostly 2, is actually really popular with speedrunners.
Yeah, I was thinking that they would be, and I guess after seeing the ending of 2, I'm not surprised that there hasn't been a 3rd one. But is that something people want?
I think with 2, it satisfied most people. Like it was a good ending to a dinner, and when we're like, I don't need dessert, it'd be welcome. I'm sure. I think some people are hopeful, but it's not like Half-Life 3 where people need that shit.
Yeah, it felt like the ending.
Because of that, also, it's just added to the meme that Valve can never release a 3rd installment of any game.
Right.
Valve can only count to 2.
Right. So let's get into the first one then.
Yeah, sure. What were your thoughts and starting experience with it?
Okay, well, let's say overall thoughts for both of these. I wanted to immediately say, I don't think, like full disclosure, I was able to enjoy them as much as I should have, and I think that might have been due to the nature of doing it for a podcast and doing it in a week, and for me, like 3 days. I don't know. I guess maybe a lot of people take to them a lot faster. Maybe the average Portal player is smarter than I am, but I felt some of the pressure from trying to get through it as fast as I could. I didn't want to have to look anything up ever, and I mostly didn't. But of course, towards the end of Portal 2, I had a walkthrough open because I was really trying to reach the end to talk about it. But
right. Yeah, you're under a time crunch.
Yeah, this isn't the kind of thing I wanted to be under a time crunch for. Or, I know it's like pretty much a nitpick, but it's a big thing for me. I didn't want to like have to do it on the computer. This is the kind of thing where I want to sit on the couch and if I had an Xbox, that's the only way I could have done that, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to say they are out for the Xbox, but that sounded more like work to me than a computer.
Yeah, I would have had to get an Xbox and everything, but this is the kind of thing that I'd probably get through both of them over like a few weeks because as I played them, I would get through a few of the puzzles, reach a spot that just felt like it was becoming a bit of a chore, and that's when I would take a break and come back to it later, so I never felt too much like I didn't want to play it. Because I think that's
ruin the experience.
Yeah, I think that's how they're supposed to be taken in, because if you do it like that and you play it when you're feeling that like urge to go back, because it can be addicting if you're playing it at your own pace, I think.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That's good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt the crunch of it. And again, maybe I'm just not as smart as the average player, but it did not take me. I don't know how. I guess my Steam hours are skewed now, but I feel like the first game definitely took me, and I didn't finish it. But what I did do took me like 5 hours, I guess, because I started at like 10, and I was up till about 3 playing it, and then what? I guess we'll get into what happened with that. Basically, I got to the game pretty thoroughly, right? So you'll know what I'm talking about.
Thoroughly enough, I guess. I think I only have like 11 hours in one.
Okay, so I got to basically the end, and I stepped into a room with a bunch of those turrets.
Uh-huh.
And I closed the game. That's that's how I felt at that point.
You saw that and was just like, was that oh shit, or you're just like fuck this?
Yeah, it was a fuck this. Like, so I'd say those things are my least favorite aspect of it. I know it's like it's not like it's challenging, so I don't want to do it. I actually thought those turrets, and maybe I was doing it in the wrong way. Maybe I wasn't being clever enough, and I was taking my time. So like, what it boiled down to is I would try and like knock them all over because I thought you had to. Maybe you do have to. But it took me a long time to do the puzzles that they were big key elements in because I'd take a lot of time to do it, and then if you die, you have to do it all over. And then
you're just kind of like running at them, or like trying to fling stuff at them, or
I don't know. I'm thinking there was one puzzle where there's like 3 of them in a room right in front of the end gate, and
right.
And there's like 10 boxes and I was like, I don't know if I did that part right. I eventually did it, but what I did was just I brought a bunch of the boxes in and like tried to hide behind them and carry them slowly up to each of them and knock them over. And
yeah.
I don't know if that's the solution to that puzzle, but I thought
that's not the intended way. But like, I think when I first did that road 2, I had like another solution that was similar to that. The thing is, like, some of those puzzles you can kind of come up with your own way of getting through it.
Yeah, and I did that in 2 at one point also. But so I'm guessing that's my fault. I'm not necessarily going to put that on the game, but just like that took me a little bit, and I thought it was really tedious. So like by the time I got to a room and that was just full of these things, I was like, I'm not finishing the game, because I knew I was like right at the end too, but because it was like at the end of chamber 19 out of 19.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're talking about. I won't say it's your fault, but like there's a reason why like on the internet it's been like trademarked to quote unquote think with portals.
Yeah.
So that room with all the boxes, what you're supposed to do is shoot a portal above each of the turrets, and shoot another portal by a safe wall, and then drop the cube so it lands on top of them, knocking them over.
Right. I think I did that for one of them, and then the other two I didn't. I don't know. Is the whole whole ceiling?
With the huge... What's up?
Is the whole ceiling portalable? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's you can only not portal onto stuff that's a black surface. If it looks smooth, then you can just shoot the portal onto it.
So
with the huge hall with all of them, you can just pretty much portal behind or next to them, and they won't shoot you. They only shoot you if you're dead in front of them at I don't even know what angle it's at a 100-degree angle probably. Definitely not a full 180.
I think yeah, I'll say that was my fault then. But as it stood, I found the turrets to be mostly tedious, even though I enjoyed the first few puzzles that they were in. I thought I'm sure everyone loves them because of they're the quotes,
yeah, the quotes.
Yeah. And I was kind of on that page at first. But yeah, I didn't like that they were in pretty much every puzzle after they were introduced. Because
yeah, it's just because GLaDOS just loves tossing them at you.
Right.
Fucking cunt.
So yeah, I didn't even get to see the end of the game until 10, 20 minutes ago, or 20 minutes before we started recording. Because
yeah. Also, you saw the end of 1 as well.
Yeah, I just pulled it up and put it on 1.5 speed, and then just watched how it ended.
Yeah, you just go through kind of the behind the scenes of the whole facility.
Yeah,
it's a really cool gameplay point because all the test chambers were kind of getting you prepared for that moment, and then you kind of recognize those patterns afterwards. So I definitely think that's a really cool part of the game and a game design aspect personally. And then it has to end with the boss fight with GLaDOS.
Well, yeah, I did a bunch of that behind the scenes stuff you're talking about, just until I reached that.
Yeah, the huge hall of turrets, I think, is the last part.
And
then once you clear them out, you just kind of fling yourself all the way across, and then you're done.
And let me say, I'm not gonna say that room is particularly hard or not, because I did not try it. I just saw the turrets and turned it off. It could have been really easy, and it could have just been a thing where you portal around. Could have been.
That's pretty much it. That is it.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't hard at all. Maybe it's just meant to look menacing, but it worked on me if that's the case. Because I was just
it worked on you because you're already stressed out about getting both the games in, and you're already taking a long time.
Yeah, and I was taking 5 hours, and it was 3 a.m. and I was just no.
Yeah, so it's understandable. To have a little firewall up on you.
Right.
But yeah, also this game, when you go through the development or commentary, they just talk constantly about how talk about playtesters and how they would get confused with a lot of things.
Yeah.
A couple of people even got motion sick, which is probably why we're not going to see a Portal VR.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
At least for now. Just imagine flinging yourself.
Yeah, and there was another puzzle in the first one that was definitely my fault. That for a half hour or something, I just did not progress, and I don't know how to describe the puzzle really at all, unfortunately. That's going to be the problem with talking about specific maps in this.
Yeah, because I probably would know what you're talking about if you did try to walk me through it. Because I've had a couple of stuck spots, mostly with 2 than 1, but we'll get to that.
Well, I'm trying to. This was definitely me. But there was, or am I thinking about the right thing? No, I'm thinking about a different one. Okay, no, this one I actually wanted to put on the game because I'm talking about the one that I was talking about is there's a room and there's like a panel of wall that pushes out, and then then most of the tests is just like it's a big like square room. There's like water or whatever it is that you can fall into below you, and across from you there's like a spot that you have to get to, and the way you have to do it is put a portal on the panel wall, and then jump through the other side of the portal with some speed so you can boost over the ditch. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about or not.
Roughly. I don't remember like the water part, but yeah, it's one of the momentum-based puzzles.
Yeah, which it took me a bit to understand the momentum at first, but by that point I understood it. By that point, the one that I wanted to like blame the game for a little bit, if I could, is that the solution to that is to press the button to make the wall panel come out at an angle so you can shoot yourself over the pit. And I tried that pretty early on, but I guess it's so specific that you can't shoot the portal and then move the panel and then use it like that. You have to move the panel, then shoot the portal, then get the momentum and jump out of it. Or else the portal will disappear.
Moves, it gets rid of the portal, yeah.
Yeah. Which I guess up until that point, that rule hadn't been established in any way. I didn't feel like, or at least I hadn't encountered it, so I didn't realize. I was just like, oh, okay, it gets rid of my portal, so that must not be the answer. So I've kind of ran around for like a half hour, and then that's one of the ones I ended up looking up, and it just did the thing that I thought of like a half hour ago, but it was like, yeah, there's the rule of that if it moves, then the portal will disappear.
Yeah,
which is
that's kind of like a hidden rule. It's more like an engine rule, I guess, with how like the portals kind of function. I think
that could just as easily be called my fault, but it's it wasn't in terms of puzzle solving. It wasn't that I didn't think of the answer, the solution. It's that the mechanics around it made me believe that wasn't the solution.
Yeah, to be fair, they don't really introduce that as like, hey, this is a mechanic, but I
generally like that, though.
You kind of can experience it when you do the first momentum puzzle when the panel moves above you, like when it extends, because it goes so slowly. People tend to like try to put a portal there, and they can't because it's moving. But it's never outright mentioned, so it's more or less some people can just learn that through observation. So I wouldn't say that's your fault necessarily.
Whether it is or not, it took me like a half hour, and I don't have a problem with puzzles in this game taking me that long. Outside of that, I'm under a time crunch, while I was doing it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a factor with this here, sadly.
So I would have been much more happy to take my time with any puzzle that was taking me a long time. Like I would have been happy to sink like 15 hours into each of these if that's what it took me. But and it wouldn't have taken me quite that long, but it could have taken me like another hour or two for the first one. First one I did mostly completely without a walkthrough, and then the second one I started to use it a bit more at parts that I didn't like as much, but we'll get there. I guess we should try and move on to the second one, I guess, in a bit. So for the
I was just gonna mention quickly what you're talking about with momentum. The developers said before, like also in the game too, that it was really hard for lots of players just to grasp the concept of momentum. They call it flinging.
Yeah.
So they really tried their best with that first stage to kind of just show them how that works, so they can implement that into like the organic section later.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was. I wouldn't say I was. I fully grasped it immediately either. It took me the first few puzzles that dealt with momentum. I kind of got lucky in, and I was like, okay, like I don't really understand what I did, but I reached the end, so I was just taking the win. But I definitely did figure out the momentum. You know, you kind of have to, because you need to start
such
being
a big part in the game.
You need to start being able to use it as a tool instead of like just a thing you can get lucky with. Because as it goes, you have to use it to reach a point in the puzzle rather than to just finish the puzzle. So
yeah, it's constantly like I have to use this as part of the puzzle.
and I like that.
I can say I can really respect the developers, because like they really paid attention to what players are having trouble with and did the best to kind of bring them along and help people learn rather than just kind of like, you're dumb, you know, you're left in the dark.
And what else about one?
Like there's this one puzzle that I really like that uses momentum, where like there's this huge there's this wall, half of it is glass, the other half is the emancipation grid, and you have to find, then that's all there is in front of you. You have to find like a place to fling yourself off of, and you basically go into another room, shoot the floor, and then go back in that first room and shoot up way high at the wall, and then you just fall down that first portal normally, and as you're falling, shoot the floor underneath you, then fling yourself.
Yeah,
like that could be tough to grasp, but like once you know it's pulled off, it's really satisfying to like kind of gain that speed.
Yeah,
I
guess I don't know exactly which one you're talking about. That sounds like a few of them to me, but I liked. I definitely felt the satisfaction of figuring those out, because there's some of those in the first one.
It's the one with the light ball that shoots out, and it has it goes through an emancipation grid, and there's these two kind of panels that are set at a 45 angle.
I don't know. Is it in the first one?
Yeah, it's in the first one.
I can't remember.
That one has a whole bunch of different solutions. Like you can basically just almost finagle it. Like you could be completely wrong, and the ball just goes wherever. But it sometimes will hit the receiver to get the platform moving.
Right, you'll have to show me after or something. But one thing that was totally my fault. I can't. Oh, I guess maybe I can describe this one. I don't know. There was like a turret behind a cage or something at the end of the room, and then there's just like a big floor that you can't get across because the turret's there. And on the other side, there's like a couple of glass walls you can hide behind. And you have to get a box to like press a button in like the left corner of the room. And then I couldn't figure out what to do for a really long time. And it was extremely easy. Because it turned out, like, after like 20 minutes of just running around not knowing what the fuck to do, I forgot the most basic function of the game. Which
is portals?
Yep. Because I just had to, like, I was trying to think about how to, like, get to this place at the far right corner of the room. Like, I was trying to figure out how to get there, like, across the floor with the turret there. And, like, it's just the game had thrown so much at me by then that I forgot, like, the most simple aspect, that I could just shoot a portal over there and then walk through and get there. So that's totally my fault.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, that happened a couple times where, like, there's so much had been introduced that I just forgot the most basic functions of the game.
Yeah, it is interesting though. Like, it's a basic function of the game, yet it's so like alien compared to like other games that you play, because it's so unique in that way. The last thing I want to touch on in one is obviously the companion cube.
Oh yeah. Which Was it 1 or 2 where you can take the cube with you?
It's in 2.
Okay.
But with 1, I think that's my favorite stage. And in terms of like, yeah, I guess it's my favorite stage, just because you get that cube, and like that whole time, it helps you like climb up the steps, and you can't portal, and then you go down this tight walkway with the ball shooting at you, so you have to block it with the companion cube, and all the while it's like it's your friend, and then just immediately when you get to the end, GLaDOS makes you kill it.
Yeah, and
so
I did.
It's super sad.
And I didn't have the privilege of wasting any time there because I knew what I had to do. And,
that's good.
And I did. And I didn't.
Do that one.
I didn't have much time. Just in general. So I might have taken a moment.
Yeah. Did you find any of the secret rooms in the game?
I'm guessing I didn't.
They're just like kind of small, like cubbies with like scribblings on the wall.
Oh, then maybe. I don't know. I saw a bunch of, the cake is a lie.
Yeah.
If that's what you're talking about.
That's the other thing. The cake is a lie. Now you know the meaning behind the super old joke.
Yeah. I'm a little underwhelmed by that. If I'm being honest.
It's dumb, but like I don't think Valve intended for that to catch on as much as it did.
I just think it was never. I thought it was gonna be a reveal or something. It was like, no. It's just like it's kind of says that the whole game. Like,
well, yeah, because GLaDOS is like, oh, you're gonna get cake, and then like you're on this slow-moving platform, and it's just actually fire.
Yeah, and you see,
you don't actually get cake. That's the joke.
Yeah, but like throughout the game, you see like the cake is a lie written on the wall and stuff, and.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like the internet basically gave it a new context, just saying that over and over again. Valve was just kind of like leading that as, I guess, as like a clue to not trust GLaDOS. But
right,
that was pretty. I don't think anybody really trusts GLaDOS from the get-go.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So it's just like it's great for world building, though. I think.
Yeah, I guess it's
like you're in this really cold and lonely environment, and that's why the companion cube works so well. It's your only friend.
Right. I think it's really as far as that meme goes, we're just talking. It's a really on the nose meme. It's kind of like all the information is right there in the sentence.
Exactly.
So I guess I was expecting like to understand a deeper meaning to it, and then it was like, oh, okay.
No, but it's basically that mystery that for people that haven't played Portal or know what it means is why it has any clout to begin with.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just kind of like Companion Cube is way better. If we're doing tier list, Cake is a Lie, C or D tier, Companion Cube S tier.
And you said that was relevant for the first and second game, but I don't think there was anything about Cake in the second one. Well, except at the end, the very, very end.
That's why I said the second one. I think I said more the first one.
Okay. Yeah. So, I guess I didn't really. Just so you're not like surprised by the score or anything. I wish there was more to it. If I'm being honest, the first one, that is.
Yeah. Full disclosure, same here. I think Portal 1 is pretty bare bones. You break it down and like really get to experience it. At the time for 2007, sure, but like games have became they evolved so much more in this past decade. Like it's crazy. Like 2010s hit, and then all of a sudden, games were like, all right, we're gonna take ourselves more seriously now. Some of them, at least, fucking Resident Evil that time.
So yeah, so overall. It was unique and interesting and cool and stuff, but then it kind of is. It felt like the whole game was training you for the end, which is I guess a little disappointing. That doesn't like feel like something I should be saying, but I guess it's just what was in my heart at the end. Like I felt like when I was at the end, it was like, oh, that's it, kind of feeling.
I can agree. It's just like, oh, cool, it's GLaDOS.
Yeah, you kind of like,
yeah.
you kind of like armed you with all this stuff, and like you.
It is pretty stressful though when like you're kind of like thrown into it and you don't know what to do like for the first time.
Yeah.
You're just like, shit, and then yeah, it's under a time crunch with the noxious gas.
I think it's just something to do to pass the time. It's definitely something that I would, like I said, that I would have liked to play slower, and every time I got stuck, just like stop playing, and get back to it when I was like feeling the hype for it in a few hours. Like when we first did Silent Hill, like it was pretty much necessary that we played it like an hour and a half at a time, because it really kept us hyped for what was coming. And I feel like that would have really added to what I feel about the game. And unfortunately, I can only like speak on it as a game that I tried to play as fast as I could, like kind of in like one sitting. I did everything that I did in Portal 1 in one sitting, which was from like 10 to 3 a.m. And obviously it ended with me being frustrated that there were a bunch of turrets. Like, so it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth there. And so to be clear, there are things that are not the game's fault at play, meaning time crunch, and sorry, there was just a noise and then the cat moved. Time crunch and just general frustration over that time crunch, but and just as far as the actual game itself, there's that one thing that I thought could have been a bit more intuitive, but that's a relatively small thing, I would say, overall. And other than that, I just wish there was more to it, because by the end, it does feel more like it was like you took a test than like that you got to play a game that like took you on some kind of journey,
right.
Which
that's fair. Which
is cool, but I don't know. That's like I don't know. I guess I was gonna say it's like something that you'd play on like addicting games, but then I was like, no, because that sounds like a knock or something. I'm not trying to knock it for that.
It's higher just quality than that, but I can see what you mean.
It's just like, it's a different experience.
Portal is really influential for what it is.
Yeah.
Because like even at the time it was so different, and people had a hard time like adjusting to that.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can base like a whole lot of stories and gameplay elements. There's a whole lot to take from in terms of what the game is, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that you had a time crunch, but that's why I would absolutely recommend you play these again on your own time.
And I think if I ever end up with an Xbox or something, I would do that. And I think I'd get a lot out of playing it with someone as well. And just kind of, if I could just chill out and play this with someone. And, I think it'd be really fun on the channel, for example.
Oh, yeah.
I
was thinking that too, exactly.
Yeah.
I could flex and then do speedrunning tactics. Not speedrunning, because I'd probably be like, oh, fuck, it's this stage. I forgot what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more 2 than 1. I played 1 like 3 or 4 times now.
Right. So to wrap it up, I guess I have a rating for the first one.
I was just gonna do quick closing thoughts.
Okay, go for it.
Believe it or not, in like kind of the early stages of Portal, or in the late stages, because I think they're about ready to ship it. There was even less story there, and that got really common criticism for players didn't feel like there was
fulfillment,
a purpose for going through all the test chambers. So they put one on there, but it does kind of leave more to be desired. And I think it has to do with because like there's so much goddamn charm in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It leaves me wanting more because
No,
we have
yeah.
GLaDOS, which is like I think one of the best antagonists in any game. In all of games, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's easily top 3. We have the turrets that as they can kill you instantly, but they have these soft, really cute voices.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking adorable, especially if you find the one that's different and doesn't shoot you.
I think
And
I did.
I think it's easier to find in 2. And
Oh
then there's the
yeah, I don't know.
companion
I just
cube.
found one that was like, I'm different, and then like it didn't kill me.
Yeah, that's adorable.
I don't know which game it was in. I don't remember.
There's hell even one part when you do like the first momentum parts, and then you fling yourself really far. GLaDOS is just like we.
Mm-hmm.
I like after that, I completely forgot about that. That when I played it again, I started doing that like my day to day.
Oh yeah.
Like if I'm driving and I have to make a U-turn, I'm just like we. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and I didn't get to experience the end where you have the final, like the fight with GLaDOS.
yeah,
Whatever.
you didn't get that. Oh shit moment.
Yeah, I'm sure that
Okay.
would just from the video I watched, I'm sure it would have taken me like a long time just to figure that fight out too. But
Yeah, because with the whole like personality pods and everything.
mhm.
But like that's why I've been saying like you can piece stuff together like from 2 because like in terms of the story and narrative,
Mhm.
it's pretty much there. Like it's all there in 2. It's just here's this testing facility. You do tests. You make it out. You kill GLaDOS, and then
Mhm.
that's that. Also, it really reminds me of the days when Valve was cool.
Oh, it's not
Because
anymore.
at the very sadly no, but like they used to hype the fuck out of sequels. Like before the ending, when like you're kind of there on the ground, it was ambiguous whether or not Shell, which is the main character's name, makes it out. And she was just laying there, and then um, I think a year or 2 before Portal 2 released, when they were like making it, they updated the game so it added Shell being dragged back
At the end of 1?
at the end of 1. Yeah,
Man, I don't even remember that. I just saw it. I remember the end of 2 better. But
yeah. If you just watch 1, like you stay around,
Mhm.
you get like slowly dragged back, which wasn't there before, and it was really cool. So they were hyping up Portal 2.
All right.
There were some like other Easter eggs and shit that they ended up adding too.
Mhm.
But that's about it. So, what's your rating for 1?
Well, so yeah, again, keep in mind everything that I said, and that this is based on one play. I didn't feel fulfilled. I felt frustrated at the end, and all this blah blah blah. You've heard my case for it. It would probably change if I played it again, but I give it a 6 for now. Which yeah,
This podcast is a safe space. You don't gotta worry about that. I figured it was gonna get something like that. Given like kind of the outside elements and everything.
it's kind of just the nature of it. Yeah.
Do definitely give these games another shot.
I think it would change. Yeah, I think it would change, but I can only rate it on my experience with it. And that's what it is as of today. So maybe I'll speak on it at some point in the future. But that's
I think Portal is a like prerequisite for anybody who's like likes games or gaming culture.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something in this for everyone, and it's even more accessible than other games that I would say same thing about.
Right.
It teaches you like even if you're an old person and you gotta like keep the brains active, or just some other stuff. Like there's a whole lot to take away from it.
I agree with that.
I think since it is kind of lackluster, especially compared to 2, I think the highest I could give it is an 8.
Okay.
It's because there's a lot of replayability,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll definitely show this to friends and anybody who still doesn't know it somehow.
That's what I feel like I'd get a lot more out of doing it again. Playing it with someone. all that.
Exactly.
Uh,
But which leads us
to Portal 2.
exactly. So, we kind of touched on, the turrets, the companion cube. They're all here.
Right.
But this one has everything that we were missing from 1.
Yeah, immediately I like this game better.
The opening is amazing.
Yeah, and that's what I mean too. Immediately I could tell that it was going to give me a lot more than 1 did.
Oh yeah, because also this game is like so genuinely funny. Like
Mm-hmm. And
I've played this before, but not for a while, and like revisiting it again, I was still actually laughing at lots of parts in the game.
right, and I think they start you off with the most at least I think he's my favorite character.
Wheatley.
Yeah.
Wheatley's a doll.
Yeah, they just introduce him and like it just kicks off and and
Yeah.
it's pretty hilarious right away. And they show and
because he talks about like you having brain damage, and he's like, "Here, try saying apple. Say apple," and it's like,
yeah, you
press
just,
space to say apple, and it's like,
you jump.
okay, what you just did was jumping.
Yeah.
Go ahead and try that again, and then the game tells you press spacebar. It's like, okay, jumping again, close enough.
Yeah. So immediately, the game had me. And I think knowing how the world works also played into like my excitement for what is to come. But the intro sequence definitely did that too. But yeah, I did want to say I'm glad I played the first one before it because I don't know. I think the experience would have been lessened if I hadn't had an idea for how the world works before I played 2.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's good, but yeah, because it just kind of tosses you into it, and then like you get a really good scope for how big the facility really is.
Right.
Fuck.
And
I forgot to finish my coffee. Now it's cold.
And I was a little confused when it said there's like 10 chapters. Oh, quickly though. I didn't get to do the multiplayer. That's definitely something I want to try with someone.
Oh yeah. It's really hard.
I bet, but I bet it's really fun too. I bet it's fun
because
you probably get less frustrated, like, or you probably get more frustrated, but like in a fun way, like in a way that you want to keep playing.
I never really got frustrated with the co-op. We got stuck for like a good bit, a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But like none of that's like, fuck, I'm stuck. Like, fuck this game.
Yeah.
It's like you're basically just running around, just thinking like as hard as you can, and then one person just like, what if we do this, and then shoot the portal. Because what Valve did is they for every puzzle in co-op, there's always both players utilizing their portals.
Right.
Like you can never do it with just one person, so it gets really fucking tough.
Oh, I bet.
And so does parts in the single player too, because there's even more mechanics that they add in, and it gets really complicated.
So the game like kind of starts out like the first one. It's just a series of test chambers, and it's like, I don't know. It didn't feel like it was very long before it turns that on its head, which to me, like, kind of says that they knew that the first one was lackluster. Like that felt like an acknowledgement of that with the with the fact that you play through however many chambers and then it's just like, okay, that's chapter 3. Now the rest of the game. Like it knew that there's so much more
kind of like
that it could give you.
You already know all of this. It kind of just establishes itself, but it more or less chooses the narrative over that gameplay. It's still there, and it's there in spades, but it kind of takes it into a different direction.
Right. Now,
the first chapter ends with GLaDOS being revived because Wheatley's a moron. But it's not like in the way of like it's done really well. It's like it's just kind of it's you're trying to escape. and then you're just crashing into shit. And it's just like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Um,
And yeah, it looks like that Wheatley dies, but he just gets a little hurt, scuffed up.
right. If I
And
wanted,
then
sorry,
yeah, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say if I wanted to get the criticism out of the way right away for this game, it is probably that there were sections that I just pretty much didn't enjoy, like chapter 6, particularly. I think I don't know if you know which one that is right off the top of your head.
Oh, you have to go that over with me.
So that's, I think it's when you're in kind of like the industrial land outside.
Oh, when you're like, no, it's like really lower. It's like really low, like you're looking at the early parts of aperture science.
I guess so. There was a lot of just like, it was mostly like really far portal shooting, and then like, and then they introduced like the goop or whatever, the
Oh yeah, the gel.
Yeah, the gel.
Yeah, honestly, I was gonna get to that. I wasn't huge on that section either compared to the rest of the game.
Right, and the gameplay, especially during those parts, felt like it got in the way. Like I was a lot more interested in the world of this game and like what it could do with itself and the narrative in the second one, and I felt like it was kind of being held back by the not very satisfying and not as fun puzzles, I thought, during those sections. That's how I felt.
I definitely think the chambers.
The chambers were
pretty good.
Were great. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're talking about like the in between sections where you have to like get to the chambers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, those are kind of fair. I mean, narratively, it makes sense because you're trying to climb your way back out.
Yeah.
But for me, those are kind of like the low points of the game too.
Right. So that's like, to get that criticism out of the way. That's mostly what the problem was for me, because for those I just like, I wasn't having fun, so I had a walkthrough open for those parts. I'd only spend like a minute or two trying to figure it out before, or probably like 5, but and then I was just like, okay, I don't care. Like, I just want to get to the next part. Then once you get back into like the actual test chambers with Wheatley, then like it's really fun again. And the problem wasn't that I wasn't having fun. That's not why I didn't finish this one. It's literally that I ran out of time. So
okay, I was just gonna say we were kind of jumping forward a bit, but yeah, I agree with the like those industrial parts kind of being the low points of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think the game does make up for it with the one very special character for me.
The cube?
No, not the cube. The one and only Cave Johnson.
Oh, okay. Right. So
like,
I didn't have much to say about him.
I think he's hilarious and up there quality with the rest of the characters.
I think I may have been too annoyed with the situation and the time crunch. I mean, the situation in the game, like, as far as, like I said, I thought that the gameplay was not fun for those sections, and
right.
So like I was just kind of like annoyed. I was in that mindset, and I didn't have much time. It was late, and like this guy's talking, and I was just like, all right, whatever, man. Like, so
okay, then definitely replay through that part, because I think Cave Johnson like makes up for that section of the game. Like, if it was just you and Potato Gladys,
I loved that though.
Oh yeah, like that was still hilarious. But if it was just you and her for like 40 minutes, an hour, I'd be a little like, but as soon as he gets like the old facility, and you hear J.K. Simmons, whew, you're in for a treat.
Oh, so that's who that is.
Yeah,
that's great.
I thoroughly enjoy J.K. Simmons.
Yeah,
pretty much everything, and this I think is one of my favorite roles he does, because just him playing like a boneheaded CEO, for science, I think is just so goddamn fitting. And then you also get the lore with who GLaDOS was and all of that,
which I don't even know if I picked up on. I was kind of tuning it out, like, to be completely honest. Because if I don't know, it's weird because after that section, I was totally back into it. I wanted to hear what Wheatley was saying and what GLaDOS was saying.
That's funny. You're just like, fuck this game, more Wheatley. Fuck this part, more Wheatley.
I liked what but I liked what GLaDOS was saying too. Like, I think what they did with her character is really great with this game.
Also, the Cave. You probably didn't pick up on it, but the quote with Cave Johnson about when life gives you lemons is still quoted.
I remember
on Reddit
that.
To this day.
I remember that, but I don't remember the full quote.
Oh, it was just like, he'll just say, "What the fuck am I supposed to do with these lemons?" What? I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. I have to give it justice. Cave Johnson. Lemons is the first thing that comes up when you type into Google.
We got a lemon quote for you guys.
It was like, make life rue the day and thought you could give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down with the lemons.
Well, goddamn. Yeah, I don't remember that. I remembered like lemons being mentioned, and then like I said, I don't know why I tuned most of that out because the charm of the game was it was in a losing battle to my frustration with that segment, I guess.
Yeah, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, which is...
I think it's so enjoyable.
Which doesn't which I don't think takes away from the game's charm. I think that the charm is there, and my frustrated state with that section of the game detracted from that. But also, again, I was under even more of a time crunch with this game, and
because you started like yesterday.
Yeah, and I was even more done with just like taking my time, so I had a guide up for a portion of it. But once I got back into the test chambers, I put the guide away. Like, it felt like I was back in my element, I guess.
Yeah, and also like the early stages when GLaDOS is back and Whitley isn't there. She's so much more mean to you two.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's just hilarious. I think they really doubled down with GLaDOS' character.
They did, yeah, and I thought that all that was great. I was like really having a good time until I realized how long it might take me. And
yeah, like the pads that launch you break, and she calls you fat.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I think there's too much weight on these. Here, let me add a couple zeros."
Yeah, I probably would have had like some notes about that stuff if I took any for this.
And I think those pads that shoot you really quick are my favorite things that Portal 2 added.
The pads that
they're so fun. Yeah, like the the oval. I forget what they're called, but yeah, you get on them and they go pew, and they just fling the shit out of you.
Wow. Okay, I thought those were in Portal 1. So, yeah,
really?
No, I probably not. Like, I think there's like an overlap with Portal 1 and the early section of Portal 2. In my mind, there must be pretty similar, but I don't know. I know I enjoyed 2 a lot more. Like, I was a lot more engaged in what everyone was saying in 2 also.
Right. Oh, they're called aerial faith plates.
Right. I know. Okay. There is one puzzle that I know I did the wrong way in Portal 2 also, towards the end of, or at least when I stopped with Wheatley. So I thought it was funny because I thought the game was acknowledging that I did it wrong, but it turns out he just says it no matter what.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know the puzzle where he's like, I don't know if you're doing that right or whatever. He's like, no,
yeah,
whatever.
He's like, are you sure you're doing this right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, you're probably doing it right. There's probably like multiple solutions, but are you doing it the right way?
Yeah. So I thought that like it was part of the game for him to say it if you did it like, but you did it in the wrong way. But then it turned out that he says it no matter what.
Yeah.
But for a second I was like, that's pretty neat. Cause
yeah, that would be.
Because for that puzzle, I know I did it wrong. Because instead of putting up like the shield, I don't know if you know which one that one was, but instead of putting up the shield so you don't get shot at by the turrets, I just like I just got the box back there, and I did that the wrong way too. Like I kind of left it in a spot, and then I like fell down to that spot, which you're not supposed to do, and then I grabbed it and put it behind the barrier where whatever that's called, the barrier that makes it so everything you've done is undone, basically.
Oh, the emancipation grid.
Yeah, so I stuck the box behind that, and then instead of setting up the I don't even know why I didn't think of it after seeing what the solution was, but instead of setting it up so I would like hit that little like shield and fall down. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I get you. The light bridge.
Yeah, instead of setting it up so I would do that, I just like stayed back there the whole time and kind of screwed with how I was supposed to do it. And then instead of making that shield for me, I just like kind of used back and forward momentum to like push the box out a little further every time until it was on the button. So then when I got the button pushed and went back through, Wheatley was like, I don't think you did that right or whatever. And then I thought it was like commenting on how I found a different way to do it.
You could chuck the game up to doing just that. It's kind of funny though, like you found like the wrong way to do the puzzles.
Yeah, and that's what he was saying. He was like, I think you're doing it in all the wrong ways. But like
but like the game lets you is the thing. Like you can finagle your way through some of the puzzles, like I said, and like you can do it in one.
There's only one or two other times I was able to do that. I think generally they're pretty airtight, which is really cool.
Yeah, not like all of them. Yeah, there's not like,
they like,
but like some of them you can.
There's excellent design. There's so many times where you do something and then you feel like you're not doing it the right way, but it's like you watch the walkthrough and it's like, nope, that's what you're supposed to do, and it feels like something that would have been a glitch or like game breaking in a different game. But it's what you wanted you to do. It wanted you to think outside the box.
Yeah, well, welcome to Valve, where completing the games feels like you're breaking them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a few parts where I honestly got stuck, or at least had trouble. Like one of them was like there were 3 lasers. One of them was diagonal, and it was like right when the GLaDOS says like the place is fully operational and it's like not looking all like dilapidated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's the 3 lasers. You get like 1 cube, and you have to shoot. You have to get all the lasers into 1 portal. Mm-hmm. But I basically refracted one of them without the portal and got the other 2 through it somehow.
Right.
And I was basically just able to just fuck it, it's done. Just made it through. Like it works. Fuck it.
Yeah, if it lets you through.
Exactly. What's fucking else? It's really cool to see like the whole place also like in ruins. Like I think that aesthetic really works
at the
for
beginning.
This because like from 1 you see like how polished everything is, and then now it's like it kind of makes it feel a little more real, I guess.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And like some of the puzzles were repeats, which is a cool way to introduce players who didn't play the first one.
Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't like it's just like, okay, here's your portal gun.
Yeah, it doesn't really hold your hand in either of them.
I think Wheatley really does make this game though.
Oh, absolutely. And like I don't know what it is.
There's so many great parts with him, just like when he detaches himself, he's like, catch me, catch me, catch me.
Yeah. And it just like I don't know what it is, but anyone with just like that soothing like British voice being like really calm but also like I don't even know how to say it right, but I think you know exactly what I mean.
Yeah, no,
It's British always just like
very satisfying.
It's so funny.
Though, a nitpick from me is that voice actor, like, it's just I kept noticing it, which is the only why it's a nitpick. Is like his R's are like really pronounced.
Oh, I didn't notice.
It's just for me though. I just kept noticing every time like it ended in R. I was just like, okay. I don't know, it just sounded like everything was British up until that point, and that sounded American. But That's all. That's not really a criticism. That's just
Is that the
something that.
huh?
What's up?
This could be totally off base because I don't even really remember what he sounds like, but it just popped in my head. Like, is that the same voice actor as the Stanley Parable?
Not sure, but you do really get Stanley Parable vibes from this. I'm pretty sure, like Stanley Parable had to be inspired by Portal 2.
Oh yeah, no,
Because
yeah,
the game fucks with you.
I could definitely see the inspiration that the Portal 2 more specifically had on some more recent games.
Yeah, I want to like.
I would have taken note of that if I took notes.
Some of my favorite lines from Wheatley.
Go for it.
Like when he detaches himself, he was just like, "Oh wow!" Like they told me if I ever did that, I would die. Like, why did they tell me that? And then like he did the same thing with the flashlight. He's just like, "Okay, 3, 2, ah!"
Yeah.
Like, oh, they said if I ever turned on the flashlight, I would die. Why did they tell me all these things? Like, why give me all these things if they tell me I would die?
Right. Yeah. Very charming.
And then he was like, "Yeah, you know, I also had a job here in manufacturing, but instead they gave me a job maintaining all the smelly humans."
Mm-hmm.
Didn't quite mean that. You know, it's just a term. Sorry, I was really insensitive. You know, smelly humans. just like
that made me wonder.
Like, oh shit.
That made me wonder if that's where your use of that word came from.
Smelly?
Yeah.
No.
Disappointing.
Yeah, sorry. Because he doesn't say that as much as I did. I don't know where smelly came from.
Yeah, no.
You had to ask me from like 3 years ago.
Right. So.
But definitely that makes me want to start saying it again.
You wanted to discuss the end of this game, right?
I want to discuss the end, but also the middle, because I'm curious. Okay, obviously spoilers for a nearly 10-year-old game.
Well, we've been spoiling the whole time, so.
Yeah. But what were your thoughts on the whole betrayal with Wheatley?
I kind of expected it. Like as soon as things start, you know, when you're in the act of like you know, betraying, for lack of a better term, GLaDOS, then like you can kind of tell that it's gonna get sinister with Wheatley just because there's still 5 chapters in the game. Like it's like okay, well, this isn't gonna turn out to go over well, and I think that it's good for the story because they're able to do what they did with GLaDOS.
Yeah,
because of that.
Potato.
And yeah, and they made her a really likable character by the end.
Yeah, they humanized her in that way.
They made her
hilarious. When you're falling down the pit, and she's just like, "So, how are you doing?"
Yeah,
because I am a potato.
Yeah, and
really quick on GLaDOS, you need to hear the voice actress doing her lines. It's really weird.
Why is it weird?
Because like obviously they put it through like an auto-tune filter.
Yeah.
But like she just talks about her experience with working with Valve, and you know, she basically talks in like a robotic way but still like has like a melody in her voice. Like and it's just really strange to hear.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, so like you hear her voice, and then like you hear her turn to GLaDOS. You're just like, oh damn, okay.
Yeah, I'll look into that. Remind me.
Yeah, it's just really interesting. It's really cool too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fucking bird that had her in the nest.
Oh yeah, and then she's scared of birds.
Yeah, I love the part when like you're going out, when you're back outside after like all the jail part, and then she sees the bird. She's like, "Bird, bird, bird! Kill it! It's evil!"
Right.
That's my favorite line from her.
I still liked that. That was still during the section that I didn't like playing, but yeah. And
yeah, I was stuck at that point too. Also, I was like, "Where the fuck do I portal up to? I'm trying to get to here."
I really
obviously it just had to deal with momentum.
I really enjoyed the back and forth between her and Wheatley.
Yeah, like what parts though? Like when
Once
she's a
what?
potato.
No, like yeah, I guess so. Once you get back and once you start doing his chambers, and then after every chamber you do, they have like a little back and forth, and like they're just
Oh
like
yeah.
making fun of each other, or like then Wheatley starts making fun of you, and then like
Yeah, she's clearly not fat. Or like, what's wrong with being adopted?
yeah, and then she's like,
It's just her.
and then
It's her own insults.
yeah, she says like, "What's wrong with being adopted?" And then like quietly, she's like, "But you are adopted, and it's awful." It's so funny.
um,
And then
oh yeah, the paradox thing. I thought was really funny.
what was
It's
that?
like the paradox idea that GLaDOS had.
Oh yeah,
Where she
yeah.
was
And
like,
then
I'm gonna fry
he's
his circuits.
he's just too dumb for it to work.
It's just like this sentence is false. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. He's just like, I'm gonna go with true.
I'm gonna go
on that
true.
one. All right, that wasn't that hard. It's like it's a paradox, you idiot. It's impossible.
He's like,
I'm gonna go with false. On that one.
Yeah. No, I absolutely loved anything with character, and I'm sure same thing with Cave. I would love Cave Johnson if I was paying
J.K. Simmons
more attention to it.
J.K. Simmons just has such a that my Discord profile pictures. That's my reaction to Cave Johnson's voice.
Knowing if you might want to say what that is, but knowing if
how do I describe it? It's that one. It's that one meme from fuck. What's the name of it? Emperor's New Groove.
Mm-hmm.
You know the one. The little. Oh, it's so good.
If this didn't have that huge section, like the industrial section, like the escape or whatever, then I think it would have been a completely solid experience for me. And I mean, we can discuss the end. I obviously didn't play it. I just watched it before we started talking.
Yeah, I still think it is a completely solid experience just because you get Cave Johnson and lore with GLaDOS. It's my least favorite section, sure, but I do love the propulsion gel. All that.
As it is, I feel not motivated to go back to this just because of that part. So we'll see how that changes.
But you get to listen to Cave Johnson. And there's also some Easter eggs that you can find. Like there's other like blocked off test chambers, and if you hit them, you get extra voice lines from him.
I heard that I saw that there were Easter eggs, but I didn't find any.
Yeah, there's also just to mention, I know it's not really gonna mean anything, but there's this part that's hidden off in that area, like a door, and then you walk down this hallway, and then you turn right, and there's this huge open area with some lifeboats there. So it looks like a ship docking for a ship, and I forget what the ship is called, but it's a reference to Half-Life 2.
Which I haven't played. And I also didn't see that part, I don't think.
And me neither. And it's on my list now, definitely.
Yeah.
But it's kind of sad because that is the last time Valve has ever acknowledged Half-Life.
Oh, really?
Before Half-Life Alyx, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that game came out and surprisingly didn't get as big as I thought it would.
I think
probably because it's VR.
I think Half-Life, yeah, it's VR, but I think Alyx also kind of undid their mistake with Artifact, so I think Valve got some reputation back. So it's just like, okay, we get a heaping pile of shit to another gem from Valve. Okay, that equals out.
I don't know what the Artifact is.
It's just that one MOBA, Dota card game.
Oh, you said Boba. I was like, what?
Boba. No, I said MOBA accidentally. No, it's that Dota card game that everyone hated.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know about it.
And it was basically dead on launch, but yeah, it's like pretty much the only huge stinker that Valve did. But anywho.
Right, you wanted to talk about the end for a minute?
What else was there? Oh, did you break any of the monitors in Wheatley's test chambers?
One of them. That one where I broke the puzzle. I got flung at him and he called me a ape or something.
He called me an ape.
Yeah.
There's an achievement for breaking all of the monitors.
Oh, God.
In a section, and he has a unique voice line for every one of them. He's just like, "Is this your hobby now? Is this what you do? Just breaking monitors?"
I might
He's
have
like,
done
there are
it.
children in Africa that can have these monitors.
I think I might have done it twice actually. I noticed it more on the second one because I broke it like 3 or 4 times because I got launched into it while I was trying to figure that puzzle out before I figured out my own way of doing it.
Even the Easter egg achievements are a fucking total joy to go through, just because like there's effort put into them. Like you get extra voice lines, and it's just so funny.
Right. So these games really only took you like 3 to 5 hours, like on your
I think
first time.
Portal 2 took me like 4 or 5 hours, I think.
The first time you played it,
Yes.
and you didn't use a walkthrough.
No, the Portal series was like the time, believe it or not, when I was like, no walkthroughs. I can figure this out.
All right. Well, yeah, because it probably would have. I don't know how long it took me. Probably another like 5 hours to get where I did, but I was using a walkthrough because I felt like I had to finish it, and I still didn't finish it.
I obviously replayed Portal 2 recently. That's why I want to recommend it, because God, it's so good, and I wanted to share the experience.
I felt like it could have taken me more 8 to 10 hours in the first game. Could have taken me like maybe 6. Probably, yeah, because I made it that far in 5 hours. I probably would have finished it up in another half hour to an hour.
Yeah, that's why I recommended it, because I thought, I can do these both in one sitting each.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
You can.
I know you're a thorough player, but like, god damn.
No, it would take me more like 16 to 20 hours probably if you add those together.
Shit. So yeah, let's just talk about the end then, because that's about it.
Sure.
The ending is fucking bonkers. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
You do roughly the same thing, where you fight Wheatley instead of GLaDOS. But except he said that he learned from her mistakes, so you kind of have to get around that.
Right, which I have no experience actually playing either of the boss fights, so.
Yeah. So the boss fights themselves they're roughly the same. You just instead of taking the personality nodes off, you're putting them on him.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the one that's just like space, we're going to space.
Yeah, that was great.
I love him.
Which I only got to see in a video, but yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, he ends up like getting the upper hand or something, or blows up. One of the bombs hit the roof, and he's got you pinned, and then you shoot a portal up to the fucking moon.
Yeah.
And it's also a context clue. Cave Johnson says that moon rocks actually are great portal conductors.
Really?
Yeah, so that's kind of like foreshadowing.
Yeah,
I guess.
A little bit of foreshadowing.
And that's how he dies actually, because he tries to have them farm for moon rocks so they can do more stuff with portals, but turns out moon rocks are extremely poisonous.
That's how Cave Johnson dies?
Yeah, he dies from moon rock poisoning.
Of course he does. It's just like Wheatley floating out there. He didn't. I guess he didn't die from moon rock poisoning, but
yeah, he's a robot.
He's not gonna die.
Then it's just a vacuum. It gets sucked into there along with the personality node that's just like space.
Yeah, and then
as soon as you're out there,
right, and then surprisingly, I mean, yeah, that was funny. Just before I move on, because I was laughing at that while I was watching the video of the end.
And then you space.
Then,
it's such a trip though when you're like holding on to Wheatley and like you look up and you look back at Earth.
Mm-hmm. I bet. Yeah, I wish I got to do that firsthand.
Yeah, firsthand for me, that was just like fuck.
That feels like it would have been
And
really
then
satisfying.
yeah, then GLaDOS pulls you back. You let go of Wheatley. Oh yeah, Wheatley's just like let go, let go, and then GLaDOS smacks him out. He's just like, no wait, catch me, catch me, catch me.
And then,
Um,
surprisingly, when GLaDOS gets her body back, she's still nice.
yeah, she's like, deal's a deal. I remember you were nice to me. Oh yeah, and for the whole lore with her, she's she was Cave Johnson's assistant.
Hmm.
And he mentions in one of the in that section in the voice recordings that that they should have been working on putting personalities into onto readable discs or computers, and he said like if they can't put his personality in time before he dies, then he wants Carolyn to run the place, which is his assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So then like yeah,
Yeah.
then GLaDOS finds out that, oh wait, I'm actually Carolyn. At the very end of the game, it's just like, thank you for finding out who I really am.
Right.
Carolyn deleted.
I didn't notice that who Carolyn was throughout most of it. Like that was another thing that was like plot point that I wasn't bothered to. I couldn't be bothered by, I guess, just because of again, I wish it was the kind of game, or my experience with it was the kind where I could take my time and like not give up when I get frustrated and not look at a walkthrough and just like that would ensure that when there was information being delivered that I was getting it because
Right.
I'd be in the right headspace for it, I guess.
Yeah, so like when you replay it through, you can actually you have a lot you could
Yeah,
pick
there's
up from.
there's a lot for me to take in.
Yeah, so it's just funny that Klaus deletes the
Mhm.
personality of her, but she still lets you go, and she even
Yeah,
is nice enough to give you back the companion cube,
it looks like right at the very end, and it looks like
which
Huh?
I said, which I saw that you were able to take back with you in Chamber 7.
Yeah, I figured that one out.
Just like, no, bitch, mine.
Well, yeah, the game kind of prompts it, I feel like, because it's like, and don't take anything with you. It's like, bitch, I'm taking it.
Yeah, exactly, because
You go back and
glad
redo
it's
it
at
because
that
you're
point.
like, I can probably take it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and is that why she throws it out, or does that happen either way?
Oh no, she throws it out just because, like,
Okay.
it's just a funny moment, or it's just like, here, take this too while you're at it.
I thought it would have been a funny like added thing that if you took it through with you, then she'd throw it. But I didn't think of that until
That'd
right
be pretty
now.
cool.
Yeah, that
I think it happens either way.
right. And yeah, for a second it looks like she is lying again because you take that little elevator up and then there's all the lasers pointed at you. They don't.
Oh yeah, the turrets, but
Yeah.
they just sing you a little song.
Mm-hmm. And
then you
I
have
love the song.
The king.
Yeah.
Then you have the king turret that's just fucking huge in the background.
I actually really liked that song that played at the end that GLaDOS was singing.
Oh yeah, Want You Gone.
Yeah, I would listen to that.
Yeah, I like the end credits for 2 much more than 1. They're both really great, but like 2's got me bopping.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
the melody was
Still
really good.
Alive and yeah, Want You Gone. Both really good shit.
Awesome. I guess.
Yeah, I want to hear a cover of Want You Gone.
I'll figure that out.
Not from you, from like Elliott Smith or someone.
Oh well, that's unfortunately not going to happen.
Yeah,
that would be
sadly.
pretty great.
Or from Jeff Buckley.
Oh,
But
okay.
Do a cover from do a cover in either of those styles. Last thing, I thought it was really funny that you're in this huge underground facility and you come out of an outhouse.
That too.
Oh, last thing. That one chapter where Wheatley's tossing it around. And he's like bringing you and GLaDOS over there, and like you get launched, and GLaDOS is just like, "Oh no, this is the part where he kills us." And then you land on a platform. And Wheatley's just like, "Hello, this is the part where I kill you."
Is that at the end?
Yeah, it's chapter 9.
Okay, so I didn't play that, so I don't know if I saw it. I kind of just watched the like very final parts.
Gotcha. I think that I think that's more like yeah, it's probably one of the peak parts of comedy or in terms of the comedic parts in the game,
Right.
because the chapter is called "This is where he kills you." The part where he kills you.
Was it really quick? Because I was in I
Yeah.
was in chapter 8, and then apparently there's 10, but I was like apparently very close to the end. So one of them must be really short.
Yeah, the part where he kills you is just like you just portal out of there and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But it's just funny that they say, "Oh, it's the part where he kills us." Like it says it 4 times because there's even an achievement that pops when that happens.
mm-hmm. So yeah, I missed that. That's sad. Maybe I'll end up finishing it naturally after the fact.
But yeah, also keep in mind, it took me like
depending on what you reckon.
4 or 5 hours to play the single player, and currently I have 35 hours in Portal 2, so the co-op might take you some time.
Yeah, well, the regular version took me some time, so
there's a lot of co-op. Like they do not skimp out on that.
I guess it was really always you who figured it out, just like the escape rooms.
Yeah, see? Hey, I figured it out.
I figured it out.
That's why I like the escape room so much, because you see Portal, then that type of puzzle solving.
Yeah. So yeah, I think overall I definitely liked 2 better.
And, absolutely.
And I guess I don't have any planned final thoughts. If you had any, then go for it.
I was just gonna say I think it's even more well-rounded, and it gives you everything that was missing from 1. It just doubles down on everything: narrative, personality, how hard the puzzles can get.
Yeah, I agree with all that.
And it's genuinely funny still. Like, I'm absolutely gonna replay this at some point down the line, when I forget about some of these jokes, and then I'll be pleasantly surprised. At the very least, if I remember all of it, I'll be smiling the whole damn time.
Yeah, it's actually like a full fleshed out experience compared to the first one I felt.
Yeah, and the co-op is also a joy to go through.
Definitely something.
Once you forget most of the test chambers,
mm-hmm.
which I must have by now.
Definitely something that I want to experience. So, hopefully one day I'll be able to do that.
Oh yeah. Well, you got Mo to do that. You got me to do that.
True. I'll just have to get an Xbox or something.
Oh, true. Oh, then never mind.
Well,
unless I could do split screen on there on the Xbox.
Yeah, I could probably get like a 360 for like $80 or less or something.
Yeah, maybe check Game Dude.
Mm-hmm. There's my cat.
That's all I have to say. J.K. Simmons gets like an extra 10 points for me.
Yeah, I would. I will definitely. I'm interested to listen to that more and be knowing that that's him. That adds to it, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So, what's your rating on it to cap it off?
So there was. I already went over my criticism like toward the beginning, and then you can obviously keep in mind everything from the first game applies to this. Maybe a bit more. I mean, as far as my circumstances playing it, I pretty much had like a day and a half to. Well, yeah, I ended up with an extra day. We recorded the podcast a day later this week. Hopefully, we won't have to do that again, but I guess it'll depend on how long your rec takes. Mine's easy.
It'll be easy too. So, because I feel guilty about this one.
No, it's all good. I'm glad I played it, and it's definitely improved a lot over the first one, which I already gave a positive score, whether or not people would think that. I give this one a 8 out of 10.
You know, that's pretty good considering your conditions that were there.
Yeah. That is
definitely
good.
Replay this.
8's a great score.
I'm sure you're going to. Yeah,
it could go higher. Could go higher. And I still haven't played. I haven't experienced even like the full single player story, but I haven't done the multiplayer at all, which definitely
you can
could factor
the co-op too. I hope you'd replay both these games down the line.
Right. So just as it stands, that's what I'm giving it. That's really good, I think. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's opening score, so that's at least you took something from it, and that's really what this podcast is all about. First of all, I'm be glad that we're doing the whole quarantine podcast because fuck, I stink like right now.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm so goddamn sweaty. This room is hot.
It's a good thing we're doing.
um, yeah, so I already gave my final thoughts. I love pretty much everything about this game, even like the down part.
Now, how about you give
Uh,
it a 10 instead of a
oh,
9?
it is getting a 10.
Okay, there we go.
It'd be a crime against humanity for me to give it a fucking 9.
Skylar gave a game a 10.
Yeah, I don't. Even though it's a 10, I
You're
don't know
doing
if
that
I'll
now.
like place it in like a top 5 favorites.
I don't
It could be-
remember. I don't remember if you did. We have that list. I don't
I don't
remember.
think so. I think I just forgot about it, honestly.
That's probably what happened.
But like, it's one of those where like it may not be my favorite game, but it's a 10. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's
yeah, I know.
it's when like you really experience everything from it, and you think about it, it's just like, what more can this game give for it to be, for it to do better, This game doesn't really have much else.
Yeah, I've got that with some movies where it's like, yeah, that's a 9 or a 10, even if it doesn't quite do it for you. And you're not saying that.
Yeah.
You're not saying that, but I'm just saying I get the sentiment because sometimes you're I can't detract from that, but like it's not my personal favorite thing.
I think Valve really caught lightning in a bottle with this one.
Oh yeah.
And even cemented their company further into legendary status. Because they just kept doing it over and over with other IPs too. But yeah, if anybody were to ever ask, like, what do you think is a perfect game or like closest to that, I would think Portal.
All right, Portal 2.
Yeah, Portal 2.
All right.
Even better, but absolutely play both of them if you get the chance. It's even better.
Yeah, I would say to play the first one if you're going to play the second one. So, yeah.
Exactly. Wow, I gave a game a 10. What is this?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're doing that now because before you wouldn't give your two favorite games a 10. And that didn't make much sense to me.
Yeah. you like the imperfect things in life.
Yeah.
Even though I give lots of albums and movies 10s.
Yeah, so like Spider-Man and Dark Souls are 9s, but they're your favorites. This is a 10. It's not in your top 5, though. Welcome to Skylar.
I put it, actually, yeah, I know. It's not my top 5. I have a couple that would take that spot. I think my top 5 is actually like 10 games now.
Yeah.
We need to redo our favorite games podcast.
I actually am not opposed to doing that down the line because I've been, I keep being exposed to more stuff, and definitely like a movies thing. As I see more, there's going to be
that would be tough
for
me. That would be as tough for me as you doing albums, but
right.
Albums would be less hard for me because I only know like 10 of them.
Albums could definitely happen at some point. Yeah, I definitely think like the lists and stuff. We should do those when we take breaks.
Yeah, for sure. Or like if
when we take breaks from
it's a little too hefty, like or
if we
do a show.
If we give the rec, that'll take more than a week. So that's it.
I think though your theory a while ago that I secretly hate games might be true.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Why's that?
Just because I just keep saying fuck this game, but I like it.
Oh yeah.
I just play stuff to get mad at it and just call it bullshit.
I can see it. Well, there we go. So we went up in 2s. I gave the first one a 6. You gave it an 8. Second one I gave an 8. You gave it a 10. That's
true.
Little wrap up for
patterns
for that. Yep.
All right, so now let's just jump into your recommendation.
Let's do it. I recommended an album. And this should be a relatively short discussion, I think, because I didn't have any history with the album.
We both went into this equally blind.
Pretty much. I knew one song
which
on
I keep
it.
forgetting.
Yeah. I knew a song on it, and it's Hallelujah, and it's a cover.
Same here.
And so.
Oh, this is a cover. This isn't the original.
Oh yeah, believe it or not.
Okay, I swear to God, I thought this was like, oh, this is where this song is from.
Oh really? I thought you were joking. No, it's a Leonard Cohen song.
Gotcha.
From like the
Yeah,
60s. But this is actually at least in like terms of Spotify and YouTube plays, I think it's the
This is like the well-known one.
Yeah, it's the one that is it got really big. It's got like 200 million plays or whatever on Spotify.
Isn't like this is like the Weezer's Africa, like it's better than the original.
Well, that's in my opinion, and I don't even know. I don't think that's a popular opinion, but yeah. So that's all I knew going into it, and what did we think overall?
See, I didn't even know that. I just played it, and then Hallelujah came on. I was just like, oh,
right.
Okay. It's this young chap, but it turns out I didn't even know that. Yeah, even though I enjoy rabbit holes, I don't go down them. So I normally, I'm like, maybe he'll have some insight for this, and that's it.
Oh yeah. So okay. So as far as just the album goes, do we have overall thoughts? Because it, like, even though I knew Hallelujah, I know I was quite I was taken on a ride I wasn't expecting with this album. So what?
Yeah, I wasn't having any expectations. I honestly kept forgetting that you haven't listened to it because normally if you recommend an album, it's like either your new favorite thing at the time or like one that is important and all that.
And I'm
so-
gonna start trying to think of older ones to rec you after this for music stuff.
Oh Jesus!
But
I want to hear how that sounds.
Well, it was pretty clear.
pretty crisp. Give that burp a 7 out of 10.
So, general thoughts. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it?
So I had to put a disclaimer. We both had our own challenges with each rec this week.
All right.
Because I basically, as soon as it's this, I had to start listening to this. I can only currently hear out of one ear.
What?
Yeah, I think I have an ear infection or something. My left ear just quit on me.
Like still?
Oh yeah, still. It's been a week.
What
almost.
the fuck?
I read up on it. They normally clear up in a week or two. But if not then, or if there's like liquid coming out, I need to see a doctor.
Okay, jeez.
But
I hope
like
you're
if
all
another
right.
half a week, and it's still not clearing up, I'm gonna go to urgent care.
Yeah, Jesus, I had no idea. This first.
I mean,
time
it just
hearing.
kind of happened.
Right. Well, I guess. I mean, I hope you're all right, but also.
Oh no, I'm fine. Like, I had to look at the differences between like what a punctured eardrum is and an ear infection.
Right.
But I don't have any symptoms of punctured. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not dizzy, or I don't hear ringing too much. If I'm really quiet, I can hear a little ring.
Yeah, I guess if it happened randomly, then that would say something. Unless you like something happened and
It was
then
like
it
after the
started.
shower, but no,
Yeah.
nothing happened after that.
All right.
Before that, but I could partially hear from it. Like, you know, if I were to block my right ear or put one of my headphones in the left one, I can hear it very faintly.
Well, all right. Well, yeah. So I guess we both had our challenges.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a challenge. This is kind of like a first world problem compared to like what you had to deal with this week. All I'm saying is that my left ear felt very lonely with this album.
Right.
Because it is great.
Oh, you really liked it.
I also had to take.
I'm glad you really liked it.
I couldn't let the album flow. I had to take breaks because
Right.
this is definitely an album to like pump the volume to. And I would have to pause between each song because afterwards, my left ear would just be like, ah, oh.
Oh, so
I would just hear the ringing would get really loud, so I had to stop, wait for that to go down, start the next song.
It was your left ear that has the infection?
Yeah, and my right ear's fine, it's normal, so.
Okay.
But it's still balanced. It doesn't really bother me in headphones because it's noise canceling.
I was going to ask how you were listening because I was in the car for all of my listens, and I wish I got the chance to sit down with my good headphones and listen, but I just can't sit at my computer for an hour. The album's about an hour long.
I would be just
listen.
listening while like playing games or something.
Right. Yeah, well, I can do that, but I didn't have the chance this week. It was a hard week because I had 2 recs to do. Also,
yeah,
I had to.
No, technically 3 because you had 2 games.
Yeah, and I had to give my own rec a shot because I hadn't done that, and I just finished listening to it for the 3rd time yesterday too. I think.
Yeah, even in speakers though, it's like my left ear's just like, "Yo, give me some of that."
Oh wait, no, it was Monday. Yeah. I actually did finish. If this was my only rec in Portal 1, then it would have been. I would have been done on time. That's funny.
Yeah. It's just I'm a little annoyed at that.
So
and it also sucks because I'm almost done with the song and I just need to mix it. But you know what you need for mixing? 2 ears.
You absolutely do.
So I'm a little peeved. But
so you really enjoyed the album?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Wow. All right. You might have enjoyed it more than me. We'll have to have this talk now.
That's what I'm thinking in terms of like how we're going through it. So let's just kind of go track by track.
Wait. I did have a couple of notes for the top. I found it to be, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to hear it more. But did it feel like a lot of the songs were kind of structurally abstract or like almost like free form? Like it didn't feel like verse.
So.
It didn't feel like verse chorus. But for all I know,
Bridge, chorus.
Yeah. For all I know, they were in that format. It's just like the way that he sings, like the way his songs are structured. It feels like even if you're getting like the same section, it sounds different, which I did notice on a couple songs. Like, this part again, but it sounds way different. So.
There's no way of me like saying this without sounding pretentious as fuck, but I think you're right, and that might be why I like it. But I didn't think about that while listening to this album.
Okay, no, that's not pretentious. It's why I felt like I actually needed more time with this too. Funny enough, like
every song is at least 4 minutes, except for one of them.
Yeah, and I felt
lots of them going above 5 and 6 minutes.
Right, exactly. And I felt like this is I still feel like I don't know this album that well, but I did what I could with 3 listens, and so did you.
Yeah, same here. Honestly, same here. We got same experience with that.
Yeah.
But I will say, I'm gonna end up listening to this a lot more.
Okay, good.
Because of that.
I'm glad you
really
liked it.
I think you birthed a Jeff Buckley fan.
Well, that's too bad. This is his only album, and
I was about to ask that, and that's a goddamn shame.
And he died in '97. I mean, I think '97. Unfortunately, he drowned. But
he died the year we were born.
Yeah, I believe so. And there is some other stuff. I haven't listened to any of it. It looks like they kind of did the thing where someone died and they released like a bunch of different stuff after the fact. But he had like a couple EPs, I think, and this was his only full length. So I only had a couple other notes. It doesn't take long for you to catch on that he's an amazing vocalist.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say he's an amazing singer.
And I said sometimes even channeling Freddie Mercury, but like, of course I'm gonna say that. I was
thinking that too. God damn it.
Yeah. Of course I'm gonna say that.
He had to be like really inspired from Freddie Mercury because he really kind of like has those that type of vocal quality.
Mm-hmm. I don't know a ton of vocalists that really are like this showy, so maybe that's like a noob reference to make, but like that's what I was thinking at
just
first.
Kind of the way he hits high notes, and
Mm-hmm. I put ambitious arrangements just in general, and you can tell that he's very like passionate and soulful through his singing mostly, but also the music. The music kind of works as a backdrop for everything he's doing vocally, and then there's the
Yeah.
instrumental breaks, and it's like it gets pretty like epic sometimes, I guess.
I thoroughly enjoy the instrumental parts, even like during his singing. You know me, I just listen back, so I hear everything. That's how my brain just ends up listening to music and ends up blocking out words.
Right, and it gets pretty epic.
Like they both complement each other so well. It's like his voice is like a blanket on like a Tempur-Pedic mattress.
right. And some of it gets really intense. And I guess, like full disclosure, probably for both of us, I don't remember intricacies about every track, which is why I thought we might have like a smaller discussion on this.
Yeah, I don't remember intricacies either. I should have taken better notes because a lot of these songs I kept being like, oh, this is like this band and this band just kind of blended together. And that was for me for like a whole bunch of different bands.
Right. As I was listening to this, I had no idea how you'd feel about this album too. I didn't know if you would... Sorry?
I was going to say, just to summarize, I guess it's kind of like if Queen did prog rock, this is what it would sound like.
Right, and like you love that shit. But I didn't know...
Maybe like lighter prog rock because, it's an 11-track album.
Yeah.
But like kind of, I guess, psychedelic rock. That's the proper genre, I guess.
And I didn't know how you would feel about all the kind of like runs and riffing and stuff he does with his voice. I didn't know if you'd love it or not like it, because I know you like Freddie Mercury, but you don't always like that kind of singing. And usually I don't either. But
operatic in the way he sings, and just the way all the instrumental parts complement. The only part where I don't really care for that singing is if like there's not as much attention into the instrumental parts. But
right,
at times as though there was like, I feel like there was even more attention to there.
Yeah, he's a crazy good guitar player too. And there's just a lot of passion and soul in every aspect.
There's a lot of Hammond organ too utilized in this album, which gets a lot of brownie points for me.
Of course. Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to point that out to me, but I'm sure.
Some different songs.
I believe you. Let's sorry.
I was gonna say there's one song that does the has a Hammond organ, but is doing glissandos. Which is where you go down or up the keys, and doing that you get this crazy like almost like synth kind of sound. Where it's just like right. It adds a whole bunch of layer, and the only other band I really think of that does that is Pink Floyd.
So you heard some Pink Floyd in it.
Oh yeah, I heard Pink Floyd in this. I heard Queen. I heard a lot of different bands.
Good. Yeah, it sounds more like closer to your niche music than mine.
And Beatles too. Lots of Beatles in this. Like, I think to start off, Mojo Pin.
Yeah, we'll go track by track.
Yeah, I think this one I was like, this is like a Sgt. Pepper feel if it was, it went prog rock.
Right. This is one of the pretty loose songs on here too, so I know where I placed it. For some of these, I'm just gonna know where I put it and like trust my judgment of what I wrote down, because I don't have any notes for it. And for this one, it's my highest like.
This, I think it's a really it's almost a perfect start to this album because it's like. It starts off really slow, quiet. You get this really angelic singing, and it's an immediate introduction of like, oh, hello, Freddie Mercury reincarnated.
and then there comes in the chord that sounds just like a little off, and like the drums come in, and I guess then kind of like the chorus.
The drums kick in, and then it's just that just sends chills down your neck because like. It just starts to groove, and he's still doing that like really kind of soft, angelic singing, and that normally isn't just my type of a song that I enjoy, where it's just hitting notes, no words or anything, or no like real melody, but he's just flowing like through different notes so effortlessly. Mojo Pinson fucks with immediately.
That's great. I wish I could remember more about it. Like it sounds like you remember more about it. Like I know that
I'm playing
it's
segments of it.
I know the okay. I know that it starts off low and like quiet, which was a hard thing for listening in my car because sometimes it would be so low that I couldn't really tell what was going on, and then other times like obviously when it gets louder like you can hear it pretty well. I know I liked it, and there were some like times I moved stuff around. I think it ended up a little lower than I originally had it, but like other songs started to stand out to me more as I listened.
Oh yeah, really quick. I just pull a real big ol' stupid for the song because it starts off really quiet. Um, Before I listened to this album, I was playing bass, so I had Spotify on my phone. And then I went to my computer and put the headphones and started playing it, and then I was just like, "Why is it so goddamn quiet?" And it was playing out of my phone for some reason.
Right.
Like I went to the computer, pressed play on there, and then it came out of my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I just heard the song like through the headphones coming from my phone. I'm like, why the fuck is this so quiet?
Yeah.
So I thought I was like, am I really like, is my ear that fucked up?
No, and this is also a song that I think I would have benefited a lot from headphones. I feel like you can really get entranced in some of the songs on here if you have some nice headphones and you're just able to relax and take it in. I
can't wait until I get all my hearing back so I can listen to this all again.
I'm glad you really liked it.
Oh yeah. Also, like, lastly in Mojo Pin, like near the end, you get this like really like weird off timing drum beat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It comes in.
Go to like
the guitar. And is like like that thing.
Yeah. Go to like the go to like the 4-minute mark and just hear the drum beat.
4 minutes in. All right. I gotta pull it up.
Yeah. It's like.
Okay, I thought you were talking about that little like break that happens with like it just the guitar starts going like.
I don't really remember that here, but yeah, it's just like that. That's a good example of like why this kind of whole album is abstract in a way, and with its structure.
Okay, yeah, he's holding out a note at the 4-minute part, and then. Okay, I hear what you're talking about. A little like jazzy kind of. I think.
Yeah, it is jazzy with because you do have like a really weird. They do weird drum beats all the time, and you get that kind of soft snare sound.
Mm-hmm.
That it almost sounds like he's using brushes, but it's not. It's just some ghost notes, but yeah, that's rambling.
Well, so did you just remember all that, or were you listening through it? I guess.
Both.
Okay. Damn. Well, I guess on to track 2.
Grace, the title track.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I think of this as one of my favorites, but it's not in my top 3. So there was quite a handful. There was like a handful of stuff that I really enjoyed on here.
Oh yeah, like that beginning guitar. Going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just immediately I don't know, like I don't know where to place the sound, but like it's definitely a sound that I know, I've heard, and I really like.
Yeah, it sounds like it sounds like older rock, I would say. Like
it's almost like Jimi Hendrix, Beatles, Genesis, like thrown in a blender.
So yeah, I put this guitar. One. I put this one in my love category. It is.
Oh, yeah, this one's in fucks with too. I think this one I was thinking like, does this go to light? Because I think around the middle, the sound of it changes quite a bit.
Right. I don't know. I really like it. Like
no, it just has like it just goes into like this really groove part with the guitar strumming.
Okay. For me, like the ending of this is so epic. Like epic.
Oh yeah, it goes crazy.
Yeah, like when he starts like belting out like "You call my It's so good.
Yeah, and all the instruments are going crazy.
And
Drums and the guitar.
yeah, and there's like solos and stuff, and he's just like doing vocal runs at the end, and it's like hitting those really high like hair metal notes.
Hair metal.
And
it's hair metal notes, but like if Freddie Mercury did them, we're gonna mention him a lot in this album, I'm sure.
If this song had, or if one of these songs has, well, I guess there's a couple of examples, but this is a good example of one where there was a clearly defined chorus as well, and it was catchy. Like I liked when that refrain came in.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
like the weight in the fire.
Yeah, that delay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. That sounds so goddamn familiar. Like just
Really?
the way that's done, and I can't fucking put my finger on like where that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I swear I heard like another artist do that.
I have no idea, but it definitely worked for me.
Oh yeah, I love that. Like it's really dissonant too.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like some kind of backup vocal thing or something going on, but it's just him like singing a different register, I guess.
Yeah.
Or
just the way it lifts into like, I think it might be like a diminished chord or something, or like a seventh.
Oh really? I wasn't thinking about that.
No, I just like the way of like where that part of the chorus goes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, also like the quality of that.
This is definitely like, yeah, it's in my love category. It's one of my favorites. It's in the top 5 because I have 5 in the love category. Spoiler. But also funny thing about this, I've been doing like vocal lessons with David.
Okay, cool.
And since like all I've been listening to for so long is Elliott Smith, I was like bringing Elliott songs, and then I was like, we should probably work on something that like we'll try and use my voice a little more fully, and like that can help me improve in technique and blah blah blah. And so I said we should look at some Jeff Buckley, and I chose this song because I was probably the most familiar with the vocals aside from like Hallelujah, but
yeah,
the way he sings that is so like kind of abstract. It's like kind of more felt than like a specific melody. So we went with this, and he was trying to get show me how to do like all that crazy shit at the end. It's pretty fun.
yeah, that's pretty ambitious to do for vocals.
Yeah, I was just like, let's see this, because I know David can sing like that. He's fucking crazy. And David had like the same reaction when I showed him this guy. He was like, this guy's amazing. And it's funny because when you hear his name, it sounds like some like old country artist or something.
Yeah, like a country star. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
And that's not the case. But that's like what I thought when I heard his name too. Because Mo actually originally
no idea what to expect with this album.
Mm-hmm. Mo told me that there was this great version of Hallelujah by him, and then I was like, it sounds. I didn't say it, but I was like, it sounds like some like old country artist. not quite. But also, I want to say, and we haven't gotten there yet, but from Hallelujah, that's like that song. Listening to his version of that doesn't give you the quite the impression that this album will give you. Like this, it's not the same thing exactly.
Right.
Which is why I was so like taken aback by hearing it in full.
Yeah, no, Grace is definitely a bop for this.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be really interesting to see you hit those notes.
Yeah, he's
Have fun with that.
I'm trying. All right, on to the next track, I guess. What
Last Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm glad you're keeping track of what the order is because I only have the order.
I just got Spotify open.
All right, yeah. So Last Goodbye, I think this was on like his on the front page. Like I think this is one of the ones with the most listens or whatever.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah, it's number 3.
Yeah. Okay. So, um,
God damn, the difference between 1 and 2. So like, Hallelujah is obviously number 1. You know, 200 million listens,
mhm.
and then Lover You Should Have Come Over is at 30 million.
Yeah, and Elliott Smith's kind of like that too, where it's like between the bars has like 84 million or something, and then the next one is like 30. Obviously, this is a bigger. Yeah, this is a bigger difference, but it's funny that it's like they had one gigantic song, and then the rest are a lot lower. It's like I guess it's kind of sad that his smash hit was a cover because
Yeah.
his own stuff definitely holds its own.
Yeah, if anything, I think it holds even better comparatively.
Ooh, spoiler.
Yeah, that's a hot take. But last goodbye.
This
I
one,
know you thought this too. Like right when the that guitar, that's not a bass, is it? That one like starting thing really sounds like it's Wonderwall.
oh, does it? Hang on.
Listen to that. Do 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 do.
Yeah, okay. It sounds like it could have been a cover or something.
Just when I thought, that's when I first heard it, I was just like, so many people.
um. So I guess this is another one that I can't remember too much about. I know it's one of the more like laid back songs generally, and I know that towards the end he kind of raises his voice a little bit, and it like definitely gets a rise out of me. So it's in the like category for me.
Yeah. Even though it sounded like Wonderwall, and normally when a song like reminds me of something like that, it's Dune, but it really builds on it, and then it adds that acoustic guitar strumming with it, so it has a whole nother quality.
Right.
The song is just constantly building, what I remember.
Yeah, which is why you get that kind of release, I don't remember like what the line is, but like or exactly how it sounds at the moment, but there's a point where there's like kind of a release of the build up when he raises his voice, and so that landed this like as it is, it stands right below Mojo Pin for me, but it's like a higher like of mine.
Yeah, this one also like the drums kick in, and it's a lot. At least compared to Grace, it's a lot more like kind of rock heavy.
Yeah, even though it's
this one for me was like, oh, this is like if Oasis and Genesis had a baby.
Yeah, even though I did feel like it was more chilled out compared to Grace, because Grace gets like pretty.
It's chilled out, but it's also more kind of rock style, you know.
Yeah, Grace by the end sounds like a metal song or something.
The kick is a lot heavier than the snare in this, and like with the both the guitars going with the acoustic, you're getting this really cool rhythm to groove to.
Mm-hmm.
This may sound like I'm starting to pander, but Glass Goodbye is also what fucks with.
Wait, what? Oh, this one is too.
Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, I would have thought.
So
it was
so far. I think the flow is like so goddamn great with this.
Right. And
I think that's just complimenting each of the songs.
Yeah, I think what we're learning is it helps if one of us has a lot of experience with it. When it comes to an album, at least, I feel like a movie might be a different might work a different way, or a game. But for this, I feel like I've got nothing to say about like any of these, because I feel like this album just as a whole needs more than 3 listens.
Well, there's so much to unpack in this. That's why I said that in the start, because there's just a lot going on. Lots of these tracks, they don't sound the same, but they're so structurally different. It might all sound the same because there's a lot of instrumentals going on. It's not like super stylized melodies, but that's why it's so great.
It's extremely
like lots of nuance, and there's still stuff you can remember from lots of these.
Yeah, it's extremely ambitious, and like instrumentally as well, and obviously melodically. Like there's not as much of a clear melody in almost any of these songs, aside from a couple choruses that like give you something to really latch onto immediately. It's very out there melodically. It's like kind of meant to be felt. Like that's why it's like That's why I was mentioning like the
Yeah.
soul and passion
Like-
that goes into what he's singing. It's not exactly about how melodically. It's melodically abstract, so it's not gonna.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
you won't be
vocals
humming it
complement
later.
the vocals complement the instrumental so much. Like
Mhm.
it doesn't really need that such a defined melody. There is one, I'm sure somewhere.
Yeah.
I just don't really remember like specifically, but it's there, and it's not like kind of just put on top of chords and everything. So the melody makes sense of where it can go. It all like kind of works in tandem.
Mhm.
Which to me is like, which is why I probably enjoy this album so much, because that's like kind of the sweet spot for me.
Mhm.
It's like how singers actually, treat their voice like an instrument, treat it like one, include it in the writing process with, the rest of your instruments.
Yeah, it feels like this stuff was extremely like passion for him. Like it was just something like as he would play, he would do the runs, and like maybe it was a little different every time. I don't know. I didn't listen to much live stuff, but I did check it out just to make sure. Like, and he was phenomenal live as well. Like sounded just like it.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, he's really great.
Yeah,
Great performer.
So let's go to the next track.
Okay, so I think that's So Real, right?
No, that's Lilac Wine.
Okay, Lilac Wine. Probably gonna be interesting for you to hear, but
Why?
I mean, out of everything we've talked about so far, this is the lowest for me. It's still in like, and I know it's a popular one, and it's a slower, quieter like song, which usually is like that song on the album is one that'll really get me, but yeah, so I still liked it, but
Yeah, it's a good song, but not gonna lie, it kind of threw off my groove.
yeah, it kind of was easy to feel like it was droning a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got from it. He's still like a great singer, but so far, like it just kind of went until this is like a ballad, like singer-songwriter almost type of song, where it's just
Yeah, even though
him and a guitar.
it is still really abstract and like no, there are drums in this one, I think.
Oh wait,
Uh,
let me skip.
it just
Oh yeah, some light drums, so it's almost like a soul type of feel. Like this is with the drums, what they're doing.
Right. So, yeah, it just felt like I found myself getting a little out of it a couple times. And maybe, again, this is something I think might change if I had headphones on and let myself get absorbed in it or something. But for now, it's still like it's just below Last Goodbye and Mojo Pin.
Yeah, as it stands, it's a good song by itself, but I think in context, I threw it in meh. Because also I gotta have some diversity in my categories.
Yeah, I
would say it's at the top of there, bordering like, but it's just like so far with what I've heard with this album and the rest of it, it's not really what I would want.
Right.
I want a taste for like what else he can do. Doesn't really scratch that itch.
I put a couple in meh as well. This one not quite, but it's like on the meh side of like, I guess. What is the next track that we have?
Next one is So Real.
Okay, cool. So I remember a lot more about this one.
Yeah, this one starts off slow and then it really builds, so it does
There's just
pretty
like
much what Grace was doing too.
Yeah, there's just a snare hit and it goes into the chorus, which is probably the other most prominent chorus on the album. Like they're up there with Grace, and obviously Hallelujah has a pretty defined chorus, but
yeah, but this one's like it just gets epic, I guess.
I love the chorus of this song.
I
think Grace gets a little more epic for me at the end, but this song, are we saying it as we go? This is my favorite on the album.
I think this would be my second favorite.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know if we were doing our top three as we go, but
I
Yeah.
didn't think about top 3 until now.
So
But
this is my top love.
I also had a misheard lyric on this one.
Really? I
It's
honestly like I only looked up lyrics for one of these songs, so and it just like you, it was really hard for me to like to follow what the lyrics were on this album, which could enhance the whole album for me, honestly.
yeah, but that's just how I listen to stuff. It's not because like.
Yeah, I kind of listened to this like you
But, I
do.
mean, if you try to, yeah, like that's good to listen to it like that. And lyrics come later.
Obviously, the chorus, it's pretty easy to. Oh, it was so real.
Yeah. Like my misheard lyric was the chorus.
Really?
Yeah, I thought he was saying, "Oh, I was sorry."
Oh God.
Oh, I was sorry.
You did. You
I
must.
realized pretty quickly that I know I had it wrong, but it was just really funny to hear that.
Okay, I was like, you must not have saw the name of the track.
Yeah, keep that in mind when you listen to this song again.
It shows that this and Grace, I guess, show, and a couple others that we haven't gotten to, show
And
that
you also get this distorted, kind of grungy sounding guitar in there.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say they show that he can have a knack for melody when he wants to, and he can do something a bit more straightforward, and it really works. Like, well, I like the abstract nature of a lot of these. Obviously, like I said, that's the main reason I feel like I need to hear it more to really flesh out how I feel. This, I knew how I felt, and I knew I loved it because it was easy to pinpoint what really worked for me with this one.
Yeah. I think this one, at least from my takeaway, is I think this is like if you take Elliott Smith and like make him write a song for Brand New.
Okay, that's interesting. I feel like nobody would understand that, but that's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
just like listen to both. You know what they both sound like. If people who do know, like if you make them have a fuck child, it would be. I feel like it would be close to the song.
Oh god,
Because you get those like really like kind of soft kind of vocals with like distorted guitar,
Mhm.
but then you get like angelic singing too.
If there's any formula to his songs, it's kind of that it starts with like softer and like the instrumentally and vocally, and it's pretty, and then like they build. Like at least for the songs that are like rock songs, there's sort of that formula, but it works because it takes its time to get there.
And I fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
I'm upset that this is one of the shorter songs on the album. Oh no, the medium length. It's like 4 minutes 40.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Yeah. So I mean, that's second favorite. I said what I needed to about this song.
Great. Yeah, I love it. It's my favorite.
Okay.
So what's
Next? Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Okay. So it's funny. You already knew I loved this. Like this is why I said I wanted to do this album because I've always really liked Hallelujah as a song, and I really liked what he did with it. So.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's good to listen to. But then it's Hallelujah. We all know the song. I tossed it in like.
Okay. Yeah.
It's high like. It's it's even though this is really straightforward. I think it works for him as a singer, and there's a little more layers.
Yeah. So as far as I know, he
instrumentally.
Mm-hmm. As far as I know, he actually added a couple verses to this. That then I think they were him. To be fair, right. I haven't done my research. No one's gonna question me, I guess, because people aren't gonna see this. But as far as I know, he added some verses and like extended the song. And then Leonard Cohen, the actual songwriter, if you see like a more recent performance of it, he actually uses the verses that Jeff Buckley added.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah, so
it's also the longest song on the album too, almost 7 minutes.
It is. Which I
really quick.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, remember how I said before I had a pause in between each track.
Mm-hmm.
Because of my ear. Well, when I hit play on this one, It was like right when So Real ended, so there's some silence there.
Mhm.
I hit play on my computer, and then I guess I've forgotten that I hit play. I thought I was still paused, and then all of a sudden it's just the sigh, just like, and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck?
uh, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a beautiful version of Hallelujah, and I was kind of expecting, because this song doesn't have anything but guitar and vocals, and I didn't know if that would be like Jeff Buckley's thing. Turns out, no. He gets pretty ambitious.
Yeah,
when you
that's
hear
what I
the
was
whole
thinking
album,
too.
yeah. So if your introduction to him was this song, like me and I guess a lot of people, then it might be jarring to hear how
Yeah,
crazy
you're in
it
for a
gets.
ride.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that he's very passionate and abstract because he also makes the melody of this song a bit more abstract. But I guess everyone has their take on Hallelujah where they kind of do that. But I don't know. I think it's a really powerful version of it. And clearly, so is anyone else who likes Jeff Buckley.
Yeah.
All right. So that's that. I love it. I mean, I had heard this one more than anything else on here, and I already had an opinion on it. So it's my second favorite.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's your second favorite. Damn.
Yeah. Which could change because I think the next song on the track list is my third favorite, and I think it could top it.
Lover, you should have come over.
Yeah, and I think that could top Hallelujah for me if shortly. What did you think of this song?
More? This one, yeah, I'm just gonna admit this is my favorite one. So it fucks with.
It's great.
Oh yeah, and what makes this song for me is how well utilized the Hammond organ is. Like this is the song I was talking about.
Okay, so I'll have to pay
beginning.
attention for that.
It's right smack ass in the middle of this. Like it has its own section a little bit. You can hear it.
I wish I remembered more about the song right now. All I know is that I really loved it. And his
go to like 3 minutes 15. You can hear the Hammond with the Leslie speaker doing the rotating thing. The wah, 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 wah.
3:15.
That's
damn, this is a long song too.
Oh yeah, it's the second longest song on here. Yeah, you get that like kind of doing its own thing. It's like
okay, I hear
there's
what
just so
you're
much
talking about.
going on with that, and then you have the glisses and everything. It's just such a good layer to this song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I love the Hammond every time I hear it in anything. Obviously, it has to work, but like, you know, that's probably why it shoots up to favorite. Also, how the song starts, it's really weird and abstract.
Is it? I was gonna say the song is pretty low key, honestly, for most of it, but the chorus is really good. Like it's not da-da. I don't know the words, but I always love when he goes up for that jump up to that high note.
Yeah, I don't know what instrument he's using at the start. I think it's an accordion.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like a whistle type of thing.
See, it says something that I don't even remember this part. Like, I just remember the song as a whole, I guess.
I remember it started off weird, and I was just like, oh, why is this song like? Why do I remember this one so well? And then like it keeps going, and I was like, oh god damn, yeah, this is great.
Mm-hmm. So I guess.
And then yeah, the guitar effect on there too is really nice and clean.
I guess. Oh yeah, I guess we're normies because I think this is his most popular song that he actually wrote.
This is the second top played on Spotify. So
yeah,
I'm that's a goddamn cop out. So oh well.
But it's great. I look forward to knowing it better too, because man, yeah, I still don't. I feel like I don't know this album still at all.
All right.
What do we got next?
Corpus Christi Carol.
Okay, so this is like Lilac Wine, except even more pulled back, and it's short, so there's that. But the vocals are like really, really like. It sounds like a gospel song or something almost. Like
Yeah, it does.
and I like what it is. Like I respect it for what it is, and like all that. And like I feel like it's supposed to be short and sweet and kind of just like bridge some gap. But I put this one in meh.
I think I put it there too. I pretty much agree. Oh no, I put it in like. I guess it was kind of bordering.
It's sort of like Lilac Wine, except yeah, it's shorter, but also more stripped back. To basically repeat what I just said, yeah, I think it's good though. I think in context of the album, like it can't be going firing on all cylinders at all times. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I think I put it in like just because of what he was doing vocally here. So
yeah, it was really pretty and passionate vocals on it.
yeah, so I think that's where it landed. Like, otherwise, the rest of it is in meh. And since it's short, I think it knows to not outstay its welcome.
Mm-hmm. I think it's funny that right in the middle of the album, it's like So Real, Hallelujah, and Lover You Should Have Come Over. And those are my top 3, so like it kind of has a bell curve, I guess. not really, because we haven't gotten to the rest of it yet. You'll see, but
yeah. You basically just spoiled it then.
No, yeah, I'm not saying that the end isn't good. I just think the middle is like apparently my favorite part.
Right.
So yeah, not much to say on that one, I guess. We both put it in meh.
I put it in like.
Okay, yeah.
Because of the vocals. So next is Eternal Life.
I could have seen this being one of your favorites, and maybe it is. It's
weird because it's not.
it's my least favorite on the album.
This is my least favorite as well.
Wow. See, that's kind of surprising.
I mean, it's really weird. You get Corpus Christi Carol, which is like, a gospel, really soft kind of sound.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eternal Life is really grungy and distorted guitars.
Mm-hmm. It's like grungy.
It doesn't start off that way, but like,
mm-hmm.
just like, given the context of the rest of what he's doing, it's not really like this album.
It's dirty.
Like him. Yeah. It's not like it's a bad song.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like this is pretty almost Nirvana inspired.
Yeah. There's grunge, rock, and metal, like kind of all in here, and I guess
it starts off soft though, so there's like hope for it, and then it's just dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that it hit me a little too strong. It kind of retains that feel for the whole song, so it didn't ever come
it doesn't
around
really
for me.
change. It's kind of the same. But like I said earlier with my ear, like this one, it didn't really appreciate this song.
Right. Maybe the lyrics are beautiful or something. I don't know. I haven't looked at.
I didn't even know there was words in this.
Oh yeah, of course. So yeah, I guess that's that. That's funny. I would have thought like top 3.
Because he sings in like the lower register, so
yeah,
he sings a lot more like Kurt Cobain in this one.
I could have seen you being like, this one's a banger.
Just because it's your least favorite, like, okay, it's gonna be his favorite for some stupid reason.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
You're gonna fucking do this. Well, so far we agree on this whole album.
Pretty much, I guess so. Except with Hallelujah, but I guess I
still toss it in like.
Yeah, I had an attachment to it. Like I've always just loved that song anyway.
I mean, my attachment to it is I hear it and I think of Shrek.
There you go.
So that's why it lands in like.
You got a little quieter, by the way. I don't know if you did.
I might have peaked. I don't know if my mic moved or if I peaked it.
Okay. You sound good now. Is that
better?
Sound good now?
Cool.
So I think we're near the end.
Dream Brother.
Strange one for me. For some reason, kind of like Lilac Wine, I found myself getting a little lost in this one. And then, like, I knew I liked it. But towards the end, there's something that stands out about it for me, which is why I put it in like. But it is my lowest like.
Yeah, this one is pretty ambient. Like, you get the congos doing the roll. and like the guitar kind of like roaming around. And it's the same thing with his vocal melody.
Yeah, and then I feel like
this one.
it comes on a little stronger at the end for me, which
But
I can't back up. I don't remember why. That's just what I remember.
At least he went back to singing like Freddie.
Oh yeah,
Definitely more so in this song than the rest of the album, I think.
Interesting. I'll remember that.
It's pretty different, but it's also in like probably the lowest like.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had Lilac Wine and Like, and I had that just above this. Those two are on the meh side of Like, where it kind of drones for me, but I like them at the same time.
I can see that, yeah.
There's
same here.
There's enough to get out of it for me. So that's it. That's that. The last song, which
Forget Her.
It must be your number 3.
No, I forgot to mention my number 3. I think it's a tie between Grace and this one.
Okay. Well, this is my number 4. I really do like the song, and I looked up the lyrics for this one. I don't know why. It was kind of like last second. I was listening to the last song on the album. I was like, I should check out lyrics, I guess. And the lyrics, I think, enhance it, even though obviously you know what kind of song it is, just from the title, I think.
Oh yeah, this is like the Jeff Buckley What's Her Name.
Yeah, and I think it's a really strong song.
This is probably one of the more like structured and straightforward ones too.
Yeah, it could end up in my top 3. It could end up being my favorite eventually. Who knows? Like, I really do like this one.
Oh yeah, this one's a banger.
And
this one's got so much emotion into it, and just I don't know. It's not unlike like what he's been doing. Like it's kind of it fits the context with the rest of the album, but it's different.
Right. The thing I guess to mention is like the only thing that is a little weird for me is the fade out at the end. It's like it's a little quick of a fade out, and it's the last song on the album. So it can be a little jarring, but I don't really care. If I'm being honest, like it doesn't change its placement or anything.
Yeah, it just builds so much. You know, this is one of the songs that runs a chill down your cock. It's a really good one.
I loved it. So you've got
obviously that one's in Fucksmith too.
Yeah, so you've got good health.
I got half the album in Fucksmith.
Do you? I've got 5 in there.
I've got 6.
So there we go.
So I like this album more.
Yeah, now we'll see. I guess that might be true. But we'll see how our ratings reflect that, because I feel like just since rating systems are different for everyone, person to person, we might have the same number.
Yeah, I feel like we need to like kind of disclose like what the ranking system means to us, like in like maybe a podcast topic or something.
Yeah, this I'd say everything in this entire episode, they're like temp ratings. I haven't gotten to resonate enough with the Portal games, and I haven't gotten to resonate enough with this album. So
yeah, like I feel like that's the case with most of the podcasts that we do.
I guess, but usually it's just one of us, and like so.
Or like we at least disclose that like this is probably gonna be a temporary rating.
Or it's kind of cool. Like with movies, I feel like it's the easiest. Like you can give your most solid feeling on a movie. Songs will definitely change in your opinion over time. Also, you're being exposed to like 15 or 12 or however many of any length, of any structure. Like so, there can be a lot going on, especially when you give me something like the White Album or The Wall, which is like 20 plus songs. It's different when you do an album, and it can be different when you do a game, just because in a game you kind of want to move at your own pace, and you can feel the time crunch.
Yeah, and movies sometimes too, like with Eraserhead.
That too. That'll need a repeat viewing, I think. But generally, a movie can be discussed to capacity, or whatever you call it.
I was just saying, like in a podcast topic, like, or at least briefly, just be like, oh, what does this ranking mean to us, and yada yada.
Right.
But more or less, I think we have similar criteria for what that is.
Right.
Like a 5 is perfectly fine. It's nothing good, but it's nothing bad either. It's just smack ass in
So
the
like
middle.
6 was like I still enjoyed the first Portal. It just like could have done a lot more for me.
Yeah.
But like I feel like we might have the same number on this album. Just because I know you're more strict with your 9s and 10s, I think, than I try to be, because I was like kind of pigeonholed into that, and that's why I like tried to actively be like more comfortable giving those numbers out.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty strict with that. I don't know why, but it's like, oh, those numbers are so high. I gotta save them.
Yeah. So that said, we might have the same number for this album. If you had any final thoughts, you can go for it. I kind of
Yeah,
gave.
like I said,
Yeah.
this is such a joy to listen to. My right ear enjoyed it very much. I can't wait. Like I said, I can't wait for my hearing to come back and I can hear it. I'm definitely going to listen to it again on my own time, so that says something.
Yeah, that's I think the first time that you've been so determined to like incorporate a rec into your life afterwards. So that's good.
Yeah, like already, like I'm like I know I'm gonna listen to this again. Fuck, I even tried finding this at Zia.
It's good shit. Yeah, you couldn't find it?
I couldn't find where Jeff Buckley was.
Oh yeah.
They kind of like shifted shit around, so like it's really not intuitive,
Yeah.
especially for me, where I'm like, what's the alphabet again? Fuck.
I guess
There were so many like Jeffs over in the B section.
Yeah, I guess he'd be in rock. Yeah, I was gonna say he'd be in the J or B section. I guess he'd be in B.
But it was in neither. I couldn't find it.
Strange.
So that was whack.
You think they'd have it, especially because it's his only one.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe because this is only one, I don't know. They might not have been selling enough. But
Yeah.
we're digressing.
I'm gonna pick it up at some point.
This album is getting a solid 9 for me.
Damn. Okay, so it does reflect it because I gave it an 8.
I figured you were gonna give it an 8. There's no dislikes, and I was pretty close to just putting every song in like or fucks with.
I will say, on my second listen through, I was thinking I was gonna give it a 7, and be like, it's a strong 7. But that's testament to how repeat listens will really give you more out of this album. And I think it could reach a 9 or a 10 or become a classic in my eyes. But like for right now, it's an 8. It started at like a 7. And my enjoyment grew every time I heard it. So that can be expected to keep happening.
For me, like, even on my first listen, I was like, God damn, this is good. And then the second listen, I was like, fuck, is this going to be like one of my top favorite albums? Because it has the potential to. It'll probably become that, honestly.
Yeah, it could definitely get there for me too. I'm going to keep getting into it. I look forward to knowing the album like front to back. So
yeah, it's just a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those where you have to listen to it front to back.
Right. So there we go. I think
pick and choose.
That might be a first.
Yeah.
Where one of us gives a rec and the other rates it higher.
Yeah.
I
liked it more than you.
Yeah, I thought you'd be stingy with your 9. I thought you'd give it an 8.
I feel like I have to. I think it just really deserves it. I enjoy it that much.
That's
I
good.
can't have more than half the album being fucks with and be like, it's an 8.
I guess that's true. It's really good, and it could get there for me too. Now, I guess we've taken our time again. Some of these have been kind of long.
Yeah, like I said, we had a lot to unpack. Yeah, 2 fucking games that I had a lot to say about.
Mm-hmm. And an album, which I thought would go by kind of quick, but luckily you had a lot to say. I feel like you had more productive stuff to say on the album than I did. So that kind of sucks.
Or just in this podcast today. Hey, I had to make up for being tired of
last time. Probably just overall. I think you gave more this time, so I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, I win. Now I can sandbag next time. Your turn, bitch.
Well, I hope we'll have a lot to say about the next Rex. I'm excited for this next one. I was actually going to give it to you last week, but I didn't want to do 3 movies in a row. So you're getting a movie.
Same here. You're also getting a movie. This was going to be my fallback or failsafe, but I just played Portal and I was like, God damn, I want to talk about this. It's good shit. So that's why I was excited to wreck that quickly.
Well, it is exciting. I'm excited to give you this movie. see what we think. And I'm gonna give you the rec first because we're talking about mine first next week. And your rec
Sure.
is a movie called Funny Games.
Funny Games. Okay,
Yes.
interesting.
And you want the 2007 version
Okay.
in English? Funny thing. Well, I'll just get into it next week, I guess. I won't tell you that right now. Yeah, you want the 2007 one in English.
Okay.
Director
Ideally in English, yes.
Michael Haneke or something. He has a weird name or a hard name to pronounce for someone uncultured like me.
I'm gonna look that up real quick.
It just looks like Michael.
Haneke.
Yeah, it just looks like Michael Haneke, but it's like he's foreign. It's like Hanukkah or something.
Haneke. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks Japanese, but I know it's not.
What do you got for
genre
me?
is this exactly? So I have like a quick little know what I'm getting into.
What does it say? It might be horror suspense.
Because you said Funny Games, I'm like, comedy? Is this an Adam Sandler movie?
No, it's what's it say? It says it's drama/crime.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say it's that?
It's really a unique movie.
Okay, I guess that's all you're gonna say.
Yeah, I hope you like it. I hope you like it.
All right.
And I don't know. I guess you probably haven't been paying for these movies, but if you have this one, you can find for $2 on Amazon Prime. So
I could have found all of them for like $2 or $3 on like YouTube,
oh yeah, that's true too.
but I'm stingy.
Someone uploaded Eraserhead entirely to YouTube, and it hasn't been taken down. So
I think I saw that link, but it just gave me a video unavailable. So
oh weird. All right.
It might have been taken down, but I think what was the last movie you recommended me?
Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski. Yeah, I had to go through so much effort to not pay for that one.
Yeah.
I was almost worried. I ended up finding a link. I was like, cool. And it was one of those websites where you click the play button and like 40 pop-ups come up.
Oh
They
god.
close the tab. They close the window. And then I was like, cool. Then I started eating, and it was in fucking Spanish.
Oh my god. No, I'd be willing to pay for that movie. Well, I've rented a bunch. I should just own that movie because I keep wanting to show people.
Well, yeah. I wanted to. I'll probably want to own it now.
And
I forgot to look for that at Tia.
And
I was looking for a different movie at the time.
Mm-hmm. And this movie, Funny Games, is another one I keep wanting to show people. So I hope you like it.
Interesting. Never heard you ever talk about this. So is this new?
I saw it since I moved here, so yeah. I guess so.
So pretty recent. Okay, well mine's not as recent. I saw this one years ago.
All right.
Great movie. But I haven't really had an opportunity to talk about it at all. And I feel like you would enjoy it. It's Whiplash.
Okay. You said it's an old movie?
No, I saw it a few years ago when it came out. It's 2014.
Okay. Did you want to tell me anything about it, or just save it for next week?
It's pretty much all right there. It's a music movie, of course.
Oh. I think I've heard you talk about it, like barely once, maybe.
Yeah. Probably can't talk about the soundtrack because, goddamn, that shit's good. But it is big band, jazz stuff.
All right.
Less so jazz, honestly, but it is big band, and it's just about the drummer being in this really strict music school program that people like me, not like specifically, but people who have gone through that can kind of like music schools are just like, yeah, that's this shit. It's really, I'm not going to say anything more.
Okay, yeah, I didn't.
If you're going to be watching, I'm not going to say anything more. If I was describing to someone who wasn't, yeah.
You'd say more. Yeah, I would say more about Funny Games, but I just think I'll have a lot to say on it next week. So
it is a real experience, to say the least. Yeah.
So let's.
It is drama, I would say.
What was that?
It is drama, I would say, and it's got my boy J.K. Simmons.
All right, now I'm looking forward to it. let's do it. Let's.
Pull up the candle time.
It is that time. All right. Go for
right.
it whenever you're ready.